This is Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals.
First couple of weeks here on Friday Night Rivals, we've gotten to see teams from 5A and 6A. Tonight, we see some 7A teams. Both teams opening up region play tonight. Alma, Bryant, the Hurricanes on the road, traveling up from down around the Bayou to take on the Daphne Trojans here at Jubilee Stadium. Good evening, I'm Jim Cox. My partner is always Dan Brennan. Alma Bryant got a win last week over Holtville, their first game of the season. And then you've got this Daphne team beat Murphy in week 1. Then in week 2, tough loss last week, 12-7 up at Carver Montgomery. So they'll be ready to get back after it against a team that they faced. They've never lost, but Bart Sessions is really kind of trying to change things around in multiple ways, I think, down the Bayou.
Yeah, going old school, really. It's all predicated on toughness down on the Bayou, and they're going to run the triple option tonight and all season long, and it's going to go through this guy, number 5, Isaiah Dixon. Now, he's a former running back, so he can scoot, but he's making good decisions at the quarterback position, and also every now and then, look for him to drop back and maybe surprise you and throw it downfield, and he can throw it. So Dixon, certainly a key to this team's efforts tonight against Daphne.
All right, so going to see that triple option coming out of this team from Bayou Battery. Probably you don't see it a lot. Tough to practice, so you got to be able to read your keys. You got to be focused. Usually starts up on the defensive line. Kenny King, he's got a lot of talent stacked up there, and he's got a big one on the edge.
Yeah, maybe you have to know all those things and do all those things, or maybe you just have to be big. And Marquez Lambert is a big guy who's got some talent as well. He'll be a tackle sometimes on the edge at defensive line. He goes about 265 pounds. He is somebody, at the very least, let's just say that Alma Bryant's going to have to occupy because he's a tough guy to move.
It's going to be a test for both of these teams here tonight. Also going to see the new quarterback in from Daphne. We're going to talk a lot about him, a transfer in, 12 offers, big numbers out in Arizona, and he's going to be under center tonight for the Daphne Trojans. Alma Bryant looking for the first win ever against Daphne. They're also going to look for their first region win here tonight as we kick things off on the Eastern Shore right after this. Good crowd here tonight at Jubilee Stadium and Daphne as we get ready for this one. Bryant and the Daphne Trojans. And let's go down and get our Mobile County Sheriff's Office coin toss down at midfield here. And looks like Bryant has won the toss and they will kick. And so we'll see Daphne come out with their new quarterback, Jamar Malone. We'll talk more about him as the night goes on. And Hurricanes will kick off, and Kobe Donnelly back deep, along with Scott Miles for the Trojans, and Bryson Gannon with our U.S. Army kickoff, and this one will come back to about the 8 and out across the 20 now. A big gap all the way out across the 30 and up to about the 37-yard line as Green brings it out. Good field position here for this Daphne offense to start things off, and we're going to see Jamar Malone come out at quarterback. He came in last week, replaced the freshman J.J. Thibodeau, and Malone, 6'2", 205, a junior, led his team to the state championship last year as a sophomore in Arizona, threw for over 4,000 yards and went down to IMG down in Bradenton, Florida, and then comes up here to Daphne, and he'll get his first start tonight for the Trojans. Nick Clark in the backfield with him. Instead, they'll give it off to Miles, and Miles going to be stopped and driven back. Great penetration by the Bryant defense. And here's our Greer starting lineups for the Daphne Trojans. There's Malone and Clark. That's who the offense is going to go through. Both of those guys, Gardner and Davis. Davis had a 44-yard catch last week. Donnelly there, Cottrell the tight end, and you see the big offensive lineman there for this Daphne team. They are big up front, loss of 3. Fires at this side, able to get it complete to Davis, and Davis up to about the 41 and bring up third and a little more manageable now for this Daphne team. And the Bryant defense, Mosley, Malone, and Pratt, all three of those got a chance to play at the next level. Broughton, Mose, Brown, and Billups, the linebackers. James and Davis on the corners, and Collier and Allen in the secondary. And the Bryant starting defense brought to you by Greer's, longtime supporter of high school football here on Friday nights.
Uh-oh, just gave him 5.
On 3rd and 6. Man, it's going to... And well, that changes things around. 3rd and 1. What do you got, Nick Clark?
No, they got the whole first down,
wow.
The whole enchilada.
Wow. So it really does change things.
Yeah, it really does. Gives them a first down, chance to get off the field.
Yep.
And instead, here we go.
We have not seen Clark touch it yet in the backfield. Had over 1,000 yards last year, and here is his first touch. And up the middle, Clark all the way down to the 31-yard line.
You know, he looks better this year, Jim.
Yep, looks faster.
He looks faster. He's quicker. He's still powerful. But this is a different version of Nick Clark than we saw even last year.
Cuts it up the inside and goes 21. And he's got Daphne just outside of the 30 of the Hurricanes. And now we get pre-snap infraction again. This one will back up the Trojans at 1st and 15 on the false start penalty. We'll try to get our referee's microphone situation corrected. Yeah, talking about Malone, offers already Arizona, Cal, Iowa State, Louisville, Miami, Oregon, Tennessee, UNLV, Utah, Virginia Tech, and he's just a junior. Now, on the keeper, cuts it up the inside. He rushed for 12 touchdowns last year in Arizona, and he's got the Trojans in the Dr. Pepper maroon zone, and a first down courtesy of Roof Doctors to boot.
Okay, so we just laid eyes on this guy, and I would say he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks that we see on TV all year.
Gotta love his size, just a junior. Of course, Kenny King, longtime resident out in Arizona.
Yeah, guess he had his, he's got his VIP status out there.
Rolling out, slings that one to the near side, and it's a little underthrown.
Kenny played for the Cardinals out there,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
After Alabama?
Yep. That'll be incomplete, bring up 2nd and 10. Yeah, Malone came in the second half last week and ripped off a 44-yard completion early on to John Davis. There you see Kenny King in the picture, his 8th season here at Daphne, 47 and 31. Inside to Clark. Clark will get down to about the 9. Good work there, Hayden Davis.
Yeah, nice work. You're right, Davis, right there in the middle, and it's going to take. Boy, Clark really stunned me with that first run. His agility and his quickness. He's just got more of that this year. He's decided to trade off some of that size for the ability to cut and make people miss.
See Tyler Sasser, the big junior center here, 3rd and 9. They can get a first down to the 1 without scoring. Malone over the middle, gets that one complete. It's going to be short of the first down as he fired that one off to R.J. Daly, the junior, and now a decision here. And will they go for it here on 4th and a couple? Looks like they'll maybe bring out a. Nope, they're going to bring out the
field goal unit.
Yep. Nathan Barella will come on for the chip shot here from the near hash. And Barella gives the Daphne Trojans the 3-0 lead on the opening drive. They got the good kickoff return and marched it down the field, but couldn't punch it in. But they'll take a 3-0 lead early here in the first. Friday Night Rivals, brought to you by Dr. Pepper here on Friday Night Rivals. Had we known, we'd have brought a Stetson to wear tonight.
Yeah.
Right? Jim Cox, Dan Brennan here at Jubilee Stadium.
Little celebration of life out on the range.
Nathan Varela, who just had the field goal for the Trojans, will kick this one off as you look here at Jubilee Stadium. Beautiful night on the Eastern Shore. Jordan James and Justice Carter back deep for the Hurricanes. And this one will be James inside the 5 and lost his footing and then lost the ball, but he was down.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Right on the official, yep, pointing down. He was down at the 20. And we'll see this Bryant offense for the first time here tonight. Dan said a little old school in the pregame. Isaiah Dixon will be the quarterback. He was a running back, and they kind of, a lot of times you put your best athlete at quarterback when you maybe don't have a lot of other options.
Especially when you're going to run the option.
Yep. And Dixon is indeed that, but he can throw it, and he's always been kind of that guy who could fill in at quarterback when needed, but I really needed him, put him there. So he'll have Carter and Dimitri Harriet with him.
Yeah, despite this big Daphne defensive line, Bart Sessions likes his guys up front and things through the option they can move them. Let's see.
You got Crosswhite on the left side at 307 pounds, and now
got the edge
to the outside. Yep, and going to be close to a first down as Dixon picked up. Let's see if they'll give him 9. And this offense we talked about, there's Dixon, Harriet, and Carter. Crandall on the outside along with Pace, and you got Aiden Davis, the big tight end. But then you got Crosswhite at 307. Santiago, the leader of that offensive line, at 289. Fountain, 258, and Maples at 248. So they're good size line there.
Yeah.
But Daphne's big on that defensive side. We'll show you that in a second. And a first down, Roof Doctor's first down. Dixon with the inside give, and ball came loose. Daphne's got it. Came loose right in the middle of the pile, and the Trojans come away with it. Let's take a look here on the replay inside. Give.
Comes out, yeah.
Yep, ripping it out was Caden Williams, the sophomore. And that's just what you can't do. Turn the ball over and now give this offense a short field.
No, and no, not at all. And when you're a triple option team, your drives are generally going to be 8-10 plays at the least, and you just got to maximize, move those chains, and instead they've done the opposite.
Malone comes to the near side, gets that one complete, but good coverage over there on Daly. Gain of a couple. You just look at Malone. He's like out of Central Casting. Let's see, good-looking high school quarterback. Who do we have to come in? Oh yes, young man, you look like a high school quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, just watch how smooth he is. Yeah, watch what an athlete he is. He's been taught to play quarterback a long time.
Pick up 5. Goes the other side. That one took a little while to get out in the hands of Davis. But boy, if Davis was able to stay on his feet, everybody was going to the ball. He had nobody near him. Going to be 3rd and about 3 here for the Trojans.
Yeah, this is where the quarterback can really hurt you too, because there's no doubt he can quarterback draw, quarterback power if you want, which he can run it in a variety of ways.
Coming out of the backfield, gets it off to Clark, and Clark has got the first down as he spins inside the 25 down to about the 22.
Kid looks comfortable, doesn't he?
Roof Doctor's first down, and
number 9, Jamar Malone, just to repeat some of these incredible stats from a year ago in Arizona, over 4,000 yards passing, nearly 1,000 yards rushing, 12 touchdowns rushing, 44 touchdowns passing. I mean, Clark
spins to about the 20. His offensive coordinator last year, a name a lot of folks will recognize from down here.
Noel Mazzoni.
Yeah.
It's been a while since he's been at Auburn in the Southeast.
Ole Miss too.
Yeah.
Then he went to a bunch of places out west and was, I think he was with might have been with New Orleans, might have been the offensive coordinator for New Orleans. And,
USFL.
He was his OC last year. Malone keeps it, sells the fake, looking for the end zone, and just overthrown. bought a little time, sold it, had a chance. Just trying to get it off to Kobe Donnelly, and let's see.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now 3rd down, and I think we'll get an officials timeout. Take our odd time for the Heat timeout, but we'll take it with them. Well, 6.5 to go. 3rd and 8 coming up for the Trojans. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan. Daphne Trojans on top 3-0. Scored on their opening possession, and then the Hurricanes only had the ball for 2 plays and turned it over on a fumble. And 3rd and 8 coming up from the 21. And Malone and Clark in the backfield here. 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen. Malone with time, then gets hit as he unloads that one. He sent a little pressure that time, and Alex Brown, the senior linebacker, got there and put the hit right in the midsection on Malone as he delivered that one. And now we'll see if Daphne will come out and try another field goal.
Looks like they're going to try. Good. You got to give a little credit here to the Alma Bryant defense, not breaking it all, especially after that turnover.
Yeah, watch. Yeah. Brown got there just as he was releasing that one, and this will be a 37-yard attempt for Varela. From the right hash. Plenty of leg, and it's good. But I think if you're Kenny King, you're probably saying, well, I didn't want 2 field goals out of those 2 opening drives. But that's what they got. They have the lead. 6-0. Daphne on top here on Friday Night Rivals. You could look there at Bart Sessions, head coach. Alma Bryant grew up in Grand Bay, kind of a homecoming when he came back down there, 3rd year on the Bayou, and really trying to change things around there. And you see, boy, he's 34-5 at McGill. Like, it was ridiculous when he took over at McGill. And he stops at Tuscaloosa County, Gadsden City, McAdory. So he's been public, private, city school. He's been everywhere, and all kinds of systems that we have now. And now he's back home. They love him down there.
Yeah, and he loves the kids.
Yep.
Really does. He's got a lot of admiration. And he's always been one of those coaches that was a proponent of the student athlete.
This one right back to the goal line, and Justice upended at the 26, and a flag up at the 35-yard line. Justice, you can see by the leg came out of the backfield, you can see the speed and how quickly he accelerates. Check in with Paul Brooks and see what this flag was. Is good open field tackle. Tariq Thomas, the starting cornerback for the Trojans, there on special teams. Holding call on the Hurricanes, and so that'll back them up to the 17-yard line.
They're jogging out to the ball and suddenly had a veer right because they're going 10 yards back with the penalty.
Isaiah Dixon, the senior, Dan talked about to open up the broadcast. Had a nice keeper on start things off here, and a fumble on the second play on the inside give.
Yeah, Harriet gave it up in a rush right up the middle.
Now Douglas checks in the backfield, and now
believe Bryant moved early on the line of scrimmage, Jim.
Yep.
Oh, no?
Oh, no. Wow.
Okay.
So we'll get 5 of those yards back and bring up 1st and 5.
You know, one thing we've seen continuously from Daphne under Kenny King is a defensive line that changes the line of scrimmage. They do things and end up in your backfield very often.
Shift into a tight formation. Give ball come out again. Boy, still wrestling down there.
Wow.
Yeah, Lawson Lee ended up with it. Our Mobile County Sheriff's Office, 7 plays, 14 yards for the 37-yard field goal. So they lose one on first down there. Offense has been a little discombobulated here. Lots of pre-shift motion, and Dixon will give it to the tailback this time and back up to about the 25, and that's going to bring up a third down as Justice gets driven back, as you saw.
He gained enough. He gained enough where they've got a very makeable third down.
Had a good push by the offensive line.
Yeah. Until they didn't.
Kamari and Pete. Well, the last one's in there, and third and short. You're the Hurricanes. Bart Sessions got to think, just get a first down. Just get a first down here.
Yeah.
No pre-snap penalties. Don't put the ball on the ground. Just convert here and keep the chains going. They go double tight ends, and now we get whistle before. I don't know if Daphne took a timeout, maybe. Maybe didn't like that formation that. Nope.
It was Bart Sessions.
Yep.
Yeah, Daphne had about 11 right near the line of scrimmage on that one.
All right, we'll take a break. Along with the Hurricanes, third down coming up. Here, Bryant trying to extend this drive. Inside 5 to go in the first. Kind of a choppy first quarter here in Daphne. Trojans with a couple of field goals, and Bryant trying to convert here on 3rd and 2.
Safe to say they need this first down. My gosh.
Talib Graham says no, as Justice Carter took the handoff deep, and Graham, the junior, blows up in there, and they'll lose a few.
I could have easily talked about Graham, the defensive end. He's a really good one. And again, Daphne likes to hit you in the mouth in your own backfield. They do it all the time. Graham did it right there. Good-looking athlete.
Jackson White to punt. Scott Miles back deep to receive for the Trojans, who should come out of this with pretty good field position. Now delay a game against the Hurricanes. Will back them up 5 yards closer to their own end zone here. Bart Sessions can't be real happy over on that far sideline at the moment. And so Miles will move up to about his own 40 to receive this one. Good kick. Miles will take it at the 41. Miles makes the first man miss, and he's already into Hurricane territory. Inside the 20, touchdown Trojans, no flags. 59 yards on the Amos Calvert touchdown. Scott Miles. Kick had good hang time, but he made the first man miss, and then he was up the near sidelines and off to the races.
Yeah, was just put one move and bang, and suddenly he's got blockers in the corner, and now it's over.
He doesn't get touched again.
No. Doesn't really get threatened again.
59 yards.
Well, if your drives are going to stall out for field goals, here's another way to do it.
A&S Calvert, innovations in steel, strengthened by people. Now hiring at AMSCalvertJobs.com. Our touchdown sponsor here on Friday Night Rivals. And the PAT is good, and just like that, it's 13-0 Daphne. But that's why we said they could just get that first down.
Mm-hmm.
You got 3rd and 2, and Graham makes the big play to blow it up, and now Daphne on top by 2 scores here early in this one. St. Michael taking on Bayside last night. Bayside with a big rally to come back and win that one 27-21. Davidson and Baker battling out in West Mobile tonight. Pensacola Catholic and Fairhope. Good one taking place out in Sims, Foley, and Mary G tonight. Spanish Fort and Baldwin County, Robertsdale and Blunt, and Murphy and Theodore getting together tonight as well. Also got 6A matchup tonight. St. Paul's and Saraland doing battle. With Saraland just looking every bit like we thought they'd look to start the season. Citronelle and Viger, Williamson and Alberta, Gulf Shores and Faith Academy. That should be a good one out in West Mobile tonight. LaFleur and UMS Wright, Satsuma and Escambia County, and Orange Beach and Jackson. This one a little shorter, taken by James at the 10. Now James with a nice move. He's across the 30 and out to the 37-yard line. And the best field position of the night so far for the Hurricanes.
Just got to cook something up on offense, Jim. They've got to move. The offensive line is going to win some battles up front because, heck, they had one stretch where they've fumbled 2 runs in a row.
Yeah.
Lost one, held on to one.
Some of that could be what Daphne's doing up front.
Yeah.
As well as we talked about that, with Graham made the big play. Durant, he's just a force in the middle, 3-year starter. And then Lambert on the edge.
Graham might be as good a player as any of them.
Under center. Dixon now rolls out to his right. Looks, fires that one short.
Had him open.
Yep, wanted to get Landon pace, but he was being harassed as he rolled out of the pocket as well.
How long has that been Daphne's MO? They're coming after you.
Yep, the linebackers, we've seen it forever.
Yep.
Over here. They will come in and pressure you, and
they do not want you to feel at any time that you're comfortable.
Right.
And especially here at home, they do a really good job using the crowd, and this crowd is kind of getting hyped up now with the 13-point lead.
They wave off that flag. Not sure what. There's been no rhythm to this first quarter here.
No, agree.
And now 2nd and 10 after the first pass attempt of the evening. Crandall splits out to the near side. Polk out there as well. Inside give to the fullback, and nothing really there for Douglas.
Man. Had a feeling that's what they were going to do, Jim, is run it straight up because of the spread formation there. Everybody out on the edge, but it didn't matter.
No gain, and now you're at 3rd and 10, and Graham in there again. You can see him trying to strip that football loose, and no offense is good at 3rd and 10. But when you're a team that doesn't really put the ball in the air a lot, really challenges what you can do here for the Hurricanes. Dixon on the pitch. It's high to Justice. Does a good job to pull it down, but that throws off the rhythm of the play, and he's going to lose another one. It was a high toss, and Justice did a good job to go up and get it, but once it just got out of sync for a moment, there was not much you can do. Lambert there.
Yeah, the pursuit of the Daphne defense, one split second of a problem, and they smell the blood.
There's a flag over there right where the play ended. Let's see what Paul Brooks.
Hands to the face.
So what it was, whistled against Daphne. It's going to give him a first down on the illegal contact. Daphne bails the Hurricanes out on that one, as they were going to have to punt, and Kenny King gets an explanation.
Hey, boy, he's got to.
Probably didn't have
what's up?
Yeah, probably didn't have a great view of it as it was on the other side. Roof Doctor's first down. Flag still down on the field back there at the 30. So the first down of the night for the Hurricanes. keeping it. Dixon gets to the outside, and he's going to have another first down into Trojan territory. Roof Doctor's first down.
Like the play, say that was the execution of the play, but it was really Dixon just going rogue once the pressure came to him.
He was able to slip away from the tackle there of Pete.
Got good speed.
Now he's up across midfield for the first time here tonight, and now maybe a little something going offensively for the Hurricanes. At the 43, you can see he's dangerous when he gets a little space.
Yeah, good runner.
Play clock down to 2. He's going to have to hurry to get this one off. And
he didn't see it.
I think Bart Sessions got a timeout. Nope. They dropped the flag. I thought they were trying to get the timeout on the far side there. So Hurricanes with another pre-snap penalty.
Boy, Bart puts in a lot of time with these kids. They practice every morning at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
It's a dedicated bunch.
I think a lot of schools do that, especially this time of year with the heat. Just like it's only 94 at 7 a.m.
It's pretty crazy, isn't it? The month of August, the hottest in the history of the state of Alabama. Or, no, I should say the city of Mobile, anyway.
Yeah. So did they give him the time? So it looks like they might have given him the timeout. Now, Bart Sessions is asking the same thing we are. I thought they got the timeout, but
haven't moved the ball yet.
No.
Now they're going to move the ball.
All right.
I don't know why they decided to wait a minute to do that.
We're still 9 ticks and 2 minutes to go here in the first. So 1st and 15 now for the Hurricanes. Dixon looking to set up a little screen, and it goes through the hands, and then it's going to be a late hit on Dixon as Graham, who's back there yet again, roughing the passer. Going to be a 15-yard walk-off here.
Let's take a look at it. Here's the linebacker, Graham, or defensive end, call him what you want, but he wins his battle. And
wow, I don't know. Like, hit him in the head. He didn't. The ball was barely out of his hand. I don't know if that's a roughing the. I don't know if that's a roughing the quarterback call.
You know, you'll construct these drives any way you wish to advance the ball.
Yeah, that's two drives that have given him first downs here. Boy, Graham is a force.
Oh, he is.
Coming off the edge.
You know, pre-game, who was going to be the player to highlight? It was really one where I could have picked one of 3 or 4. I went with Lambert because I like rolls.
Bart Sessions out there trying to get the attention of Paul Brooks.
Now you just need to play. No matter how you got to the 35, you're there now.
You're knocking on the maroon zone.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Sessions is so upset about on that. If anything, you thought it would be Kenny King, who'd been hot over here on the questionable quarterback hit. Yeah, as an old defensive lineman, Kenny probably thinks.
Okay.
Got it. Okay, so that's good intel from the field down there. So the inflatable that the Trojans ran out of to the kind of to the right of the goalpost in the south end zone here, that is still up, and the quarterback for the Hurricanes can't see the play clock.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah. So somebody went and unplugged the Trojan helmet there, and it's slowly deflating. 1st and 10 here for the Hurricanes. On the keeper, trying to bounce it to the outside. Dixon stays on his feet, goes back a little bit, and finally gets wrestled down. And you can see that would be a big thing, especially when it's on the far hash.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Now it's been deflated, so they'll be able to. Who would have thought? You know?
And I bet Bart was probably asking for a 15-yard penalty on that. So now it's The Trojan helmet has been defeated.
Well, I think it was just incidental. It wasn't like a strategy.
Dixon again back. Under center. Justice in motion, takes the pitch. Wants to get to the near side, and again, nothing doing. As coming up from his safety spot, 3-year starter Al Woodard made the stop. We've called his name for tackles a few times on Friday Night Rivals.
We have, and he stays home, and he does exactly what he's supposed to do. Keeps that play from going to the corner, and even makes the tackle. Good job, Woodard.
Kenny King just talking about him last year, how much he loved that kid and the way he plays. 6'2", 175, that prototypical safety size.
Mm-hmm.
And now 3rd and 10. Dixon rolls out to his left, wants to float it up, and it goes just over the head. Might have had a chance there for Collier, and now a late flag gets dropped right in the middle of the field.
Could be a lineman downfield where it's situated.
Looks like it's going to be against. Yep. Oh, said he motioned against Daphne, but that's going to be against the Hurricanes. So 3rd down, and from the 34, it's 3rd and 10. Do you back him up or you decline it? And I think you back him up here. They're probably not going to try a 50-yard field goal, so probably not going to punt from the 34. So I think you back him up and
give him an extra down.
Now I'm going to decline it and give it to him at 4th and 10 from the 34.
I think that's what I do. They haven't made any plays over 10 yards aside from like the one scramble, I guess.
I was just thinking if you stopped him, you'd get the field position going back the other way. And I don't know if you try a quick kick here or you're just in that kind of no man's land here at the 34.
They've thrown it more than I expected here in the first quarter, but probably because they just simply couldn't get the run going.
And haven't had a lot of time to throw it with the pressure coming. Dixon trying to go on a hard count. Looks over, play clock, and he's going to let it run down. Then maybe sent the punt team out to give him a little more room to work.
Looks like that's the case. Here comes the punt team.
Maybe that's why Kenny King didn't want to take that penalty either, to give him more room to work on the punt.
Yep.
We still have 26 seconds left in this first quarter that is approaching 40 minutes. Scott Miles, who has the 59-yard return for a touchdown already. High kick. Miles decides to take it at the 14. And now he looks to get up the other side. And he'll get out of bounds. About 5 yards short of the original line of scrimmage of that punt.
I think there's some kids named Miles that have been dangerous with the ball in their hands as Daphne Trojans in years past, right?
I believe you are correct.
Daphne's Daphne. They've got good speed, good corners, really good safety, and then big. Yeah, the difference is right here.
When was the last time they had a great quarterback here at Daphne?
Yeah,
it's been a while.
It has been Trey Battle had a good career. He's at TCU now at running back.
Set up a screen coming out of the backfield up to about the 44-yard line. Michael Willoughby had a touchdown last week. Yeah, Battle was the great quarterback back here. So we're through one. A couple of field goals, and then this electrifying 59-yard touchdown return by Scott Miles. Checking out things over his shoulder, and Daphne on top by 2 scores through one. Through one, Daphne on top 13-0. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan here at Jubilee Stadium, and this one's been pretty much all Daphne so far, and they'll have 2nd and short to open things up. Donnelly split to the bottom of the screen, and Malone wants to air it out. Looking for Donnelly up the near side. He's got him inside the 20. First down, Trojans.
Well, you were so right, Jim. So the kids on campus now, we're going to show them off. That's how you show them off. What a throw.
45 yards.
To the opposite sideline.
Dropped it right in the basket. Nobody around him. Great protection. And Kobe Donnelly hauls that one in, and he's in the Dr. Pepper maroon zone. What a pretty ball. Now, this one batted up in the air. So he wanted to come back to the near side. Really, Clark's touched it maybe just a couple of times here in the first quarter.
Clark has rushed it 3 times for 25 yards. Not a whole lot of offense, despite the 13-0 lead.
It was big Reggie Malone. Had a couple of sacks last week. See if number 0 gets his hand up on the nose. I think it was Pratt who's got his hand. Malone tried to pick it up. And 2nd and 10 here for the Trojans. Now it's Clark. Nick Clark pushing down to about the 6, maybe the 7. 3rd down coming up for Daphne. Yeah, Clark is one of those guys too. He can, even though he's maybe a little faster this year, but he was just one of the, he would just wear you down. You got tired of tackling him.
No kidding. I mean, where do you hit him?
Yep. Now Willoughby in there. That might have been him who had the carry actually in the last.
I think it was Willoughby.
Yep. Now we get a flag before Paul Brooks against Daphne. Paul Brooks still hasn't flipped the little button to turn the microphone on for us yet. So it'll be 3rd and 9 for the Trojans. And now Clark checks back in for Daphne. Donnelly comes in motion. They fake it to Clark. And now Malone looking back to the end zone. He's got it. Donnelly, touchdown, Trojans. So he got him on the big pass, and then he got him in the end zone as well for an A&S Calvert touchdown. And Daphne and their new toy looking shiny here tonight on Jubilee Stadium.
He rolls left, and he's looking for one guy, and he's watching his route. And once he clears in the end zone, that guy knows how to get the ball to you. Watch this.
And then
Pretty.
Just the Hurricanes not getting any pressure on him either. Oh, hold on. Now is this one coming back?
Ooh, wow.
False start.
Hold everything.
I did not see a flag on the field.
I didn't see the penalty either.
False start on the Trojans. Doesn't take away from the pretty throw and catch, but it does take the points off the board.
Yeah, more importantly, and it's a 3rd and long.
Yeah, so now 3rd and 14.
You're going to have to make them do it twice.
They can get a first down to the 3.
Okay, Mr. Arizona. Try it again. This kid's numbers in Arizona were crazy.
Now he's going to pull it down. Ran for 12 touchdowns last year. And does he have his first one here in the state of Alabama? The answer is yes. A&S Calvert touchdown. Malone, his first one on the ground.
Too
as
easy.
a member of the Trojans, yeah. Boy, his awareness and his moxie, you could see why everybody's so excited about this young man.
So he went to IMG out of high school in Arizona to better his fortunes, I guess you would say, in the college recruiting game. But for whatever reason, he didn't like it there as much as he thought he would, and ends up coming up to Daphne.
And Daphne punches in the 2-point conversion. Then A&S Calvert. Innovation Steel, strengthened by people. I remind you, they're now hiring at AMSCalvertJobs.com. So they kind of go that old water bucket, swinging gate, 2-point conversion. And before we get back to them, they were able to punch it right in. And Daphne on top now 21-0 early in the second here on Friday Night Rivals.
Hey, we've teamed up with Dr. Pepper and Coca-Cola Bottling Company, united to bring you the ultimate high school football experience. Stay tuned to our, we'll have our Dr. Pepper one-of-a-kind player of the game. and a winner's belt presentation at the very end of the game tonight.
I mean, it's not like a. It's not just like a a belt to hold your khakis up either.
No.
I mean, it is a championship belt.
Yeah.
I mean, Ric Flair would be proud of that thing.
Absolutely. Some gator paid the ultimate price to make that belt.
And Valera bangs this one down to the 10, and Justice out across the 30, 35-yard line. Okay, now you're Hurricanes. You're also thinking, okay, let's not let that offense get back out here on the field real fast for the Trojans.
Well, the idea with the triple option is to control the ball. You've got to
shorten the game.
Yeah, you got to win that line of scrimmage, and maybe catch them with a misdirection or quick pop pass.
Yeah, the line of scrimmage has been. It's like the field's been tilted.
Oh yeah, we talked about those three Daphne, defensive linemen. They're all good. Graham is really explosive on the edge.
So Dixon and the Hurricanes back out here and trying to bounce it to the outside is Douglas, and Tamario Douglas will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but just nothing inside, nothing between the tackles.
No, I agree, and it's unusual to see that with an option game. You usually have oftentimes the fullback is a big part of the option, but they've thwarted everything between the tackles for sure.
Yeah, lost 2 on first down when he stepped out of bounds over there on the Hurricane sideline. Douglas and Justice back there, and Justice will take the last late pitch and spins and takes a big hit as he comes across the 40. Be short of the first down, but he tried to spin away from one tackler, then ran right into another of the Trojans coming up there. I think that might have been Ballius, the linebacker.
Justice Carter, not that big at 145 pounds, and he took a bell ringing right there. They're just a couple of yards to get that first down. Watch right here. Oof,
yep.
Lord.
Dixon took a big hit as he held that pitch until the last moment, which is what you have to do in 3rd and 2. Now they'll tighten things up, and nothing. Douglas again. No push up front, and you'll be 4th and 2 from your own 43.
I think Bart was really hoping they were going to win a couple of more battles up front, right? Thought his offensive line performed well last week, but it looks like it's a different animal with the Daphne defensive line. Consider that Daphne lost last week, yeah. But they held Carver to 13 points, I believe, or 12 on the road.
Yep. And you keep the offense out here. Look at Daphne's just got everybody up on the line of scrimmage, but this is what they were hoping to be able to do. Bounce one to the outside, and it's Justice, and he's going to have the first down to the 45 as he'll pick up 11. This is what they were hoping they could do a few times here tonight. Get it to the outside.
Yep.
They really hadn't tried to bounce it to the outside all that often, but it's a big conversion for this Hurricane team here. That last scoring drive brought to you by the Mobile County Sheriff's Office. 5 plays, 65 yards. And finishing it off was the scamper by the new quarterback, Malone.
Wasn't even a scamper. Because scamper indicates one
More of a
thing.
saunter?
Yes.
There we go.
It was more of a saunter. Very athletic, very confident.
This one,
I think I've got it here, and he did.
another penalty against the Hurricanes pre-snap. Makes it a 1st and 15. Back out to midfield.
Do you think the opponents in 5A in the state of Arizona picked up his moving bill?
Yeah, I think they were telling him how, it's like, yeah, the weather's great here in Arizona, but have you been to Florida? It's really nice.
IMG Academy, but then he came to Daphne.
Dixon on the give and nowhere to go. Jamarian Broughton, a linebacker who gets some time in the second, gets some time on the offensive side of the ball as well, and he takes his first carry there, and he'll go back 2 more yards, and now we got 2nd and 17.
He's a good player at linebacker too, good athlete, so they say maybe you can help us on this side of the ball. Well, in this case, no.
Daphne doing a good job to fight off the blocks there and able to chase him down.
Well, Daphne is powerful and quick on defense. Tough to even get to the linebacker level.
Dixon on the rollout. Pressure coming. Flips it to the near side, and it's incomplete as he wanted to come back off to Landon Pace. There's no just dropping back and setting up in the pocket against this Daphne team. You
Not really.
You got to be on the move and be rolling out.
Yeah, that's how it looks on the whiteboard, right?
Yeah.
But this defense, this defensive line, and occasionally the linebackers, they don't want you to be comfortable back there. They've got the players to do it too.
And boy, they can shuffle in some fresh bodies. They play a lot of folks on this side of the football.
Well, the ones on the first team are very impressive.
3rd and 17. Dixon looking for some coverage up the near side, floats it up, and it's broken up, and now there's going to be a flag for pass interference over there.
Wow.
Was looking for Crandall, the
Saw
sophomore.
the safety was coming over.
Yeah, there was good coverage.
Yeah, there was good coverage from the corner. Safety's coming over. I didn't see it.
Boy, looked like he was
Did you?
coming toward the ball. I mean, it looked like he was coming over to make a play on the ball. Unless they're saying maybe a hand. I think maybe a hand in there on the corner. Williams came over the top, but I think they're saying maybe Tariq Thomas had a hand in, was kind of shielded away from us with seeing the safety come.
Could have been. I mean, in this day and time, it felt a little ticky-tack because of all the hand fighting you see at the college and pro level.
Yeah, but it will not. It's 3rd and 17, so
3rd and 2.
yeah, it will not be. It's not an automatic first down like it is. On Sundays. 3rd and 2. Now you're 2-down territory here. If you're the Hurricanes, Isaiah Dixon, the senior. And now it's going to be 3rd and 7.
Things been a little sloppy today, that's for sure.
Yeah, you just can't afford to do those things and stay in a ball game against a very good Daphne Trojan team.
Daphne with 6 penalties tonight for 45 yards. That is the 7th penalty on Alma Bryant. So the game's been very sloppy in that regard.
Halftime show coming up. IBW Local 505. Halftime show coming up. Dan Brennan will be down on the field. 3rd and long, 7. We'll call it 3rd and 8 for the Hurricanes. Dixon now wants to scramble. He's got some room in front of him. Dixon cuts it back to the inside, and he's going to pick up the first down at the 30.
Good run by Dixon.
Good vision.
Excellent vision by Dixon.
Roof Doctor's first down, and pressure came in on him, and the coverage was good downfield. Dixon just saw some green grass when he was able to get outside of the pocket. Made the one nice move there to convert on 3rd and 8 and move it up to the 30. As we approach the halfway point of the second quarter. Dixon the inside give again to Douglas, and he'll fall forward for maybe 2.
They can get anything going with the dive, you know, to start this offense. But look at that, just resistance from the start.
Yeah, and you can see when that fullback has to take steps laterally.
Yeah, that's not the way it's planned, right?
Most dives don't go that way and then forward. So we'll give him 1 there on first down. But you also got to keep doing it, right?
Yeah.
Got to keep
Yeah.
banging away.
That's a good example.
Yep.
That's what a fullback dive looks like, because if you do that on first down,
He gets 4 up to the 25. Yeah.
yeah, now you're kind of on schedule.
So it'll be 3rd and 5.
And again, probably 4-down territory for this team if they can.
Yeah, I don't think field goals are going to. All right, we'll get our heat timeout. 3rd and 5 coming up for the Trojans halfway through the second here on Friday Night Rivals.
Friday Night Rivals brought to you in part tonight by Andy Citron. Since 2016, Andy Citron Injury Attorneys have partnered with Friday Night Rivals, supporting student athletes and furthering education. Once again, Andy Citron will award a $5,000 scholarship to one of our Scholastic athletes. Also brought to you by AMNS Calvert. AMNS Calvert, innovations in steel, strengthened by people, now hiring at amnscalvertjobs.com.
3rd and 5 coming up here for the Hurricanes. Best drive of the evening thus far. Dixon gives it off, and he's got Broughton, and Broughton's got the first down inside the 10 for the Hurricanes.
Big hole that time.
The Dr. Pepper maroon zone, and Jamarian Broughton, as we said, starts at linebacker, comes over here and out of the timeout.
Boy.
Big hole on the left side.
Yeah, they just collapsed to the inside, took away everything, and finally moved some of those Daphne defensive linemen.
This was the drive, I think, Bart Session envisioned that they could maybe have a few of these here to get this game going.
No doubt.
Got to finish it, though, here. Broughton tries to go on the left side there, and a whole host of purple to clog things up, led there by Pete Jr. We've called his name a few times already here tonight.
You got to get enough first downs where you can repetitively, keep running your stuff, if you will. And when you don't get the first down, suddenly you begin to maybe panic and try things that aren't in the character of the offense.
2nd and goal from the 8.
First down's a key in any offense. It's really the key in this offense.
Oh, boy, Broughton moved early. He kind of came up on his toes in that tailback position.
Looked like he was he going to be the recipient of that pass over the middle? Looks like where he's going with it. And sometimes when you are the player of the play or potential intended target,
inertia kind of starts too. You start that movement unless you're playing right tackle for the Chiefs last night. Then it just didn't really seem to get called much at all. Never seen a tackle line up as a slot receiver all night and not get called for it, but that wasn't the case last night.
Andy Reid's innovative offense.
I guess he doesn't need all that much help usually.
No, they needed some last night.
2nd and goal from the 13. And Coach Sessions and the Hurricanes will take a timeout here. Critical, they got to punch this one here. Yeah, so we'll take the timeout with the Hurricanes. Inside 4 to go here in the second. Good look there at Kenny King of the Daphne Trojans. We'll talk a little bit about in the second half on what an honor he received at the University of Alabama last weekend. Of course, Kenny played here at Daphne, all SEC, all academic SEC. He was all everything up at Alabama, and also when he was playing here at Daphne. 2nd and goal for the Hurricanes. Dixon, the fake, looking wide open, touchdown Hurricanes! Broughton with a reception. I think it was the same play they might have called before the timeout.
I think so. That's why he's on his toes, right? And they just said, hey, we can get this.
AMNS Calvert touchdown, and Dixon able to get it off to the junior Jamarian Broughton. Just kind of leaked out from his tailback position.
He did.
Dixon bought a little time, and
there he is.
A little soft spot there behind the linebackers in front of the safety, and touchdown Hurricanes.
Good for the Canes. I mean, you know, you give and you give and you give, and it's like trying to push a rock up a hill. Finally, they break through with a drive that ends in a touchdown.
Yep, Gannon on for the PAT. Tell me, you've heard this before. Flag prior to the snap against the Hurricanes.
A lot of penalties in this game tonight.
Give us a chance to tell you about that. Amon S. Calvert touchdown. Innovations in steel strengthened by people. They're also hiring. AmonSCalvertJobs.com. Really cool company up in the northern part of Mobile County.
Yeah.
Doing really neat stuff up there.
Alma now 8 penalties for 78 yards. That doesn't help either.
Now when PAT is boomed up near I-10 by Gannon, it's 21-7. Hurricanes took advantage of some penalties to keep that drive going by the Trojans, and brought in the linebacker slash running back on the reception there. And Dixon had a little that, it's like he might have had a little baseball in his background too, a little sidearm toss of that one to the end zone.
You wonder about that. At the school like Bryant, you figure there's a lot of kids that play dual and sometimes 3 sports. Interested to see here, by the way, when Daphne gets it back, if we see more of Nick Clark. 3 rushes, 25 yards, but that's not a lot of activity for the tailback, who looking good.
Coast Guard school colors cam there. You see it's country and is it country and western night here?
I don't, that was my guess.
This is where I lost the shirt the one year when it was the whiteout, remember?
Was it here? Was it Baker?
It happened here. It was one that happened here one time, I know.
Yeah, I think it was.
And that was like week 6, and I never got a replacement. I had to go deep into the closet to check on.
Week 7, you just wore your wife beater, right?
I'm sorry. Sorry. Onside kick attempt here, still rumbling and bouncing around. Finally picked up by Nick Clark, and Clark up to the 48-yard line. I like it. Well, the Hurricane, you're like, hey, we haven't slowed him down much here on.
Yeah.
Let's get it. And that thing kept kicking around. U.S. Army. This thing was rolling around like a hot grenade there. Nobody wanted to
jump on it, yeah. It ended up in the hands of a guy who I was just mentioning. Not a lot of activity from his running back position tonight. Well, he gets the ball on the kickoff. Knows what to do with it.
A good coach will get it in his hands as many times as you can, any way you can, right?
That's exactly right.
Spanish Fort leads Baldwin County 7-0 at the half. Malone sidesteps the pressure, rolls and takes a big hit at the 45. It'll fall to the 46, and he'll pick up 6 on that one.
You've got no choice but to put a big hit on him, because he's a big guy. He's going to win a lot of those battles at the collision.
Let's look at a scoring drive here by the Hurricanes. They ate up some clock on that drive. We'll give it to you coming up here after the 2nd and 4 for the Trojans. Clark, as Dan said, and he breaks it right up the middle, and Nick Clark inside the 10 down to the 6. But there's a flag at the 32.
Okay.
That's right where he bounced it to the outside. Went 38 yards. This one's, helmet to helmet contact against the Trojans.
Really? On a block?
In the middle of the field. Yeah, pretty sure that's what I saw Paul Brooks indicate there. Personal foul, yeah, helmet to helmet or blindside maybe.
Okay, that could be.
Yeah.
That could be. Clark was about to jack his stats up real quick on one play. Most of that is going to come back. Not all of it, but most of it.
Gulf Shores leading Faith Academy 21-7 at the half, and go right back to Clark, and he'll convert it. He's got the first down up to the 37-yard line. We've got her first down. Kenny King made a big push to try to get that young man all-state honors last year, as just a junior, rushed over 1,000 yards and gets a fresh set of downs here. Malone to Clark out of the backfield, and Clark breaks a tackle at the 30, stutter step down to the 20, and an 18-yard pickup has Daphne in the Dr. Pepper maroon zone, and on the march again. Boy, he just gets out of the backfield so quickly into his hands.
Yeah, he's quicker this year too. Just look at the. It looked like a statue of how a quarterback throws a football.
Yeah, like the mechanics are perfect.
Yeah, gosh.
That changes things up around in 7A when he's your new QB1. This time goes to the other side, able to get that one to Davis, and Davis is in for the Trojan touchdown. A&S Calvert touchdown. Davis had a 44-yard catch from his new QB last week, and now he's got this one for the touchdown. And the 5'9", 150-pound senior is on the board.
Wide receiver screen. He's got good speed. Beats everybody to the end zone. Here it is. You got to have.
That's how you draw it up on the whiteboard. That's how it's supposed to work.
And I'll tell you, the one thing where you don't always see is him coming back toward defenders.
Or the defender's slipping and falling on his backside.
Yeah, he read it right. But it's 6 points one way or the other. And here goes Daphne again.
Varela for the PAT. And it's good. Give me a chance to say that A&S Calvert Innovations is Steel, strengthened by people, and now hiring at AMSCalvertJobs.com. Brought to you that touchdown by that young man, John Davis. What an answer by the Daphne Trojans after the Bryant Hurricanes marched it down the field, got on the board, and Daphne right back with a quick scoring drive. It had a long run, had a 38-yard run called back in the middle of that drive on the penalty.
Yeah, that didn't take long either, did it? This is how, once they figure it all out, Jim, we look at the Daphne defense. We know they're good. This offense now could change its trajectory to what they want to become. They could be explosive.
Seeing that here tonight. Not many other scores coming in yet here. And kind of a short field after the attempted onside kick by the Hurricanes.
That's true.
Now we'll see. That one make it into the end zone or go out of bounds? It made it into the end zone?
I believe so.
That's a new kicker is Jaden Swidierski came in to kick that one, left-footed kicker. That young man earned that drink of water after that touchdown.
He did. He's pretty excitable about all this. Good for him. Good player.
Touchdown on Friday Night Lights. Now down to 2:15 to go. Here in the second. And now Bryant's going to have to answer back. They will get the ball to start the third quarter. So I'd love to pull the old double-double here. We got a long way to go. In the backfield, but Lambert able to get that one and wrap him up right at the line of scrimmage as Justice didn't have anywhere to get. Maybe got a yard. Maybe nope. They'll put it right back at the 20.
Yeah, it's been really tough struggle getting that fullback dive to get much. They have had a play or two, but otherwise that door has been shut. Hard to get the offense going.
Douglas stays in there at fullback. They give it to Justice and try to get through the left side again, and he's going to get just a yard, and third and long coming up, and see if Daphne takes a timeout here to stop the clock, and they will with third down coming up to say, hey, yeah, we'll give offense a chance to get back out there, get a stop here on third down. Our scoring drive. 4 plays, 50 yards, 20-yard touchdown reception there from Malone to Davis. Scoring drive brought to you by the Mobile County Sheriff's Office. I'm really not sure you or I could have pulled off the cowboy hat, Dan Brennan. I'm just not.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm real sure.
So after the timeout here with 1:34 left here, the Trojans have 2 timeouts. As we said, Hurricanes will get the ball back to start the third quarter, but Daphne's thinking, hey, we want to get another shot here late in the second quarter. Let's see what Isaiah Dixon has come out of the timeout here. Pressure coming, looks to pop it up top, fires, and it's incomplete, and it'll stop the clock right at midfield as well as he tried to go to Landon Pace. You can see the arm that Dixon has, and pressure was coming, but had single coverage up top there. And just over the outstretched arms of Pace, and now the Hurricane's going to have to punt. And Daphne with a chance to get great field position again here. Scott Miles, who's got a 59-yard touchdown return already tonight. And a delay of game penalty against the Hurricanes. We'll push him back 5 more, and that'll move up Miles to about his own 45. Gannon's got a good leg. That hadn't been the challenge here tonight for the Hurricanes. It's been the coverage as Miles went in virtually untouched on that 59-yard return. Kick it away from him this time. And this one will check up at the 44, so very good field position again for the Trojans here with 1:17 left, and Daphne has 2 timeouts. And they're looking for more here on top, 28-7. They scored a couple of field goals on their first 2 drives, and then a touchdown. They were up 21-0 before Bryant got on the board, and then they answered back quickly on that last drive. Look there at Jamar Malone, 6'5", 205, just a junior. His first start here for the Trojans. Played a little bit in the second half last week. Play clock now. Daphne's going to have to take a timeout here. Ooh, that is not one you want to have to take to avoid the penalty. When I'd like to save another one, but they'll have one here for now they got the official on the far side had moved the stick over like it was a penalty, but Kenny King was right there and called the timeout right before the play clock expired. So it'll stay 1st and 10. And Trojans now talk things over and come back here after the timeout. Next week, Daphne's got Davidson. Alma Bryant next week. I got Citronelle. Trying to get some update on some scores here. UMS leading LaFleur by a score of 13-6. Williamson on top of Alberta by a score of 19-6. Nothing from Foley and Mary G yet. And now here after the timeout, Trojans back at it. Malone. Time in the pocket, looks for the middle of the field for Davis, and that one incomplete, just a little in front of his intended receiver. He'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Trojans. You look there at Cooper Donahue, number 64, 3-year starter on this offensive line for the Trojans. Sasser there to his right as well. And 2nd and 10 for the Trojans. Malone, quarterback draw, pulls it down right up the middle. He's got a first down. And Moore's hit right at the sticks. Looked like he had it, and then he got bent back a little bit. And get the official mark here. Maybe, they're going to mark him just short as the clock keeps going. Now, I think the officials maybe going to, got an injured Hurricane down on the far side. That is linebacker Jamarian Broughton, who also had the touchdown reception. Looks like hopefully he's going to be okay in his own accord. He'll have to go out for a play. IBEW Local 505 halftime show coming up next. Dan Brennan will catch Kenny King hopefully as he heads off the field, and also a couple of interviews down there during our Local 505 halftime show on 3rd and less than a yard here for the Trojans. Clock winds. Malone out of the backfield, gets it off to Clark, and he's got the first down, and then Wisely just steps out of bounds at the 35 to stop the clock, and another Roof Doctors first down. And Daphne on the march here again with 37 seconds left. They got a 1 timeout. And Malone with good football sense there to get it off to Clark quickly, and Clark just out of bounds to get the clock stopped. Malone looking left, now pulls it down, steps away from a tackler on the scrambler, looking for a blocker in front. He'll go to the far sticks, and he stays inbounds before he stops. Then steps out of bounds at the mark him down at about the 10 and into the Dr. Pepper maroon zone. Good coverage downfield by the Hurricanes, but Malone on the scramble got a little flocking there, and they'll mark him out of bounds at the 11. So we're inside half a minute to go. And the Trojans looking to build on their 3-score lead. Davis and Donnelly to the bottom of the screen. Motion now to the near side. Malone pulls it down again on the quarterback draw. Bounces, jumps inside the 5, still on his feet, and he falls down at about the 1. It's going to be 1st and goal, but there's a flag right at the end of the play as well. Saw Cooper Donahue down there was with his arms outstretched, asking why. Holding against the Trojans. Malone had it where it looked like it was going to be, maybe it would have been the 1st and goal. He was inside the 1 there. He said they're going to back him up. To about the 13-yard line with 16 seconds left here. Malone, pressure from the backside, sidesteps that, comes back all the way across the field. A move at the 2, touchdown, Trojans. Miles with his 2nd of the night. M&S Calvert touchdown. And Scott Miles with a score. Malone all the way back across to the near side, and then Miles, a move there to walk it in for the AMS Calvert touchdown. Innovations in steel, strengthened by people. They're hiring at amscalvertjobs.com. And Daphne marches it down. Just 2 seconds left on thing. And now looking to fire it off. Going to be incomplete, as the Hurricanes had the good pressure coming in on that one. Davis, the holder, couldn't complete the 2-point conversion, but Miles with his second touchdown of the night. And so Daphne on top 34-7 with 2 seconds left here in the first half. Again, coming up momentarily, Dan Brennan will be down on the sideline to talk to Coach Kenny King. And see if Hurricanes can do anything here. You think maybe just another squib kick from Swiderski. And we'll see if this first half has any more action here, or if this will just close things out. Line drive, and it goes over the head of James. So the clock doesn't run because it was not touched. So we'll have one more play in this first quarter. That sometimes you think you got a team coming in that's going to run the triple option. You're going to have a quick moving first half or not. And you expect the Hurricanes just to maybe take a knee here on this one and try to go regroup. At halftime, as Dixon gave it off, and Justice will spin it out across the 30, but that will bring the half to a close. Impressive first half for the Daphne Trojans. A 34-7 lead here. Jamar Malone, as promised, the Daphne defense salty as well here. And Dan Brennan's down on the sideline, and he's got Coach Kenny King.
Hey, down on the field right now with Coach Kenny King of the Daphne High Trojans. Not much complaints in the first half. I guess penalties would be the one thing?
Yes, penalties. Again, we got to work on those. That's a game killer. But again, going out, we got to go back in here and talk about the penalties that we're getting and reset on that. So, but other than that, man, I've been pleased for the fight to the guys, but we got to eliminate those penalties. How
much confidence does Jamar Malone now give this entire football team and coaching staff?
Man, definitely. He's come in and done a great job for us, man, and definitely a great leader. So guys are playing, man. Guys are really, excited about coming out there and playing ball. So, man, we're super excited.
I think we all see that. Thanks, Coach. We'll see you in the second half. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Dan. Halftime score here, 34-7. Daphne on top. Impressive first half for the Trojans. On top, big one score there for the Hurricanes. Otherwise, it's been all Trojans here in the first half.
This is the IBEW Local 505 Halftime Show.
Going to talk a little academics here at halftime now. Dan Brennan on the sideline with David Sprinkle. He's the president of Alma Bryant High School. Good to have you here.
Great to be here, guys. What an exciting atmosphere for high school football tonight.
Yeah, really is. Let's talk about Alma Bryant and some of the things you have going on down there. What are some of the innovations, some of the successes that you all are proud of down there?
Well, just recently, last year, we saw a 10% increase in our math scores on the ACT and a 20% increase on our English and language arts. Was the biggest growth that we've seen in school history. Our graduation rate hit a school record of 90%. Our college and career ready credentials hit 90% as well. So we've just got a lot of great things going on. Our dual enrollment courses that we're offering, we've partnered with South Alabama and Bishop State Community College. That's a really big thing right now to get our kids kind of adapted to the college life. So just so many things, I could talk all night about it.
If you have a half a second, what do you attribute that jump in scores?
Well, 100% our teachers. We have the best teachers. We put together an ACT team and they devised the plan, and then our students bought in. You know, we come from a community where not many kids go to college. So getting them to, you know, give their best effort on the ACT test is a challenge. So we also made some incentive plans for them and did some fun things and celebrated it, but the teachers just really, we have a great staff there now.
They're led by you, so congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks a bunch. Young ladies, I know you're with SGA here at Daphne High School. Introduce yourselves and tell us about, I guess, the roles you've been elected to, correct?
Hi, I'm Zoe Pratt. I am the senior class president of Daphne.
Okay.
I'm Morgan Bice, and I'm student body president here at Daphne High School.
These two really think they're something, but I think they really are something. And talk about your role as president and also maybe what you want to do in the future.
So actually we do a lot of planning. So right now we're planning homecoming and we're super excited and we're getting dress up days and everything planned out so we can have the best homecoming ever.
That's great. As SGA president, you're kind of the top of the heap. You lead this student body. So in what way do you do that?
One thing that I really try to do in my everyday life here at Daphne is I try to make sure that every student feels like they have an input in the things that we want to do, because you want school to be fun when you show up and everyone has a say in it. So that's something I really try to implement here at Daphne.
Future plans?
I plan to attend UAB and hopefully dance, and I want to be a business major or something in communications.
I want you to be my boss. And how about you?
I would love to attend the University of Tennessee, go Vols, and I would love to major in interior design.
Excellent. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be back after this break.
The following segment is sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
One of the things that resonates us at Coca-Cola United and Dr. Pepper that correlates between team sports and back into our business is no doubt is teamwork. Just expanding upon that, and it's not something that's natural as you're going through school. It's about you having, you know, your grades being good, doing what your mom and daddy tells you to do. Being a good youth is bringing that team environment together, and it is so imperative that they have, we see time and time again, not that anybody can't be successful in it, but they have a jump start of what a team environment looks like and everybody working together and pulling together for a common goal, and it just puts them miles and miles ahead.
Big crowd here in Daphne tonight, down on the field listening to their home band just starting to play. Great job by the Bryant band as well. A little Rock You Like a Hurricane theme going on there. I thought I was going to hear some Scorpions, but they didn't break any of the Scorpions song of the same name. Take a look at the schedules of our two teams we got here tonight as we open up region play in 7A. See what Bryant has come up. So they got their win last week against Hopeville to open things up tonight at Daphne. Then they got Citronelle. That is a long bus ride from Citronelle down to Alma Bryant next week. And then a couple of games on the road for the Hurricanes. Go out to Sims and they'll take on Robertsdale, and they got Baker at home and go back to Foley. Fairhope Davidson, and then close things out against Northridge. And you can see what Daphne has here opened up with a win over Montgomery and then lost here at home last week 17-12 to, I think it was 12-7 actually here to cover Montgomery. They got Bryant tonight, then they got back-to-back road games, take on Davidson and Baker over in Mobile. Then they got a big one here against Spanish Fort. We'll have that one for you here on Friday Night Rivals. Then another big rivalry game for the Trojans. They'll go down to Fairhope. Then they got Mary G and then Foley and close things out against Hillcrest Evergreen. Hard to believe we'll be a month into the season with our game next week, as both these teams competing in the 7A Region 1. And everybody opening up region play here tonight. So Baker and Davidson getting together, and Baker just putting it on Davidson 38-7 at the half. Big one in Sims tonight, and it's right now 28-0. Mary G leading Foley. And so you see you got Bryant, Davidson, Daphne, and Fairhope. So you got 4 of these teams that will get into the playoffs. So it'll be a battle, as it always is, to come down to the last week of the season, you would guess. And take a look at the polls in 7A. And Foley right now ranked number 9, taking on number 8, Mary G. That one again in Sims, and it's Mary G on top 28-0. Hoover at number 10. Thompson, of course, the top team. Central Phoenix City, Enterprise, Vestavia Hill, Auburn, Dothan, Hewitt, Trustville, Mary G, Foley, and Hoover rounding things out in the top 10. Here in the opening week of 7A on the Eastern Shore, it's been all Daphne Trojans 34-7. They have the lead over Alma Bryant. And we'll come back with more of our halftime show here from Jubilee Stadium. Coming up after this.
The best Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals highlights from across the country.
All the way back, it's our player to watch, Jameer Thomas, who fields it at the 5. Makes one man miss and another. Look out, Jameer Thomas! My, Bennett! Jameer Thomas! The first play of the season!
Bryant going for it all. No. He underthrew it a little bit and it's still caught. What a catch! What a play!
Their first snap of the half is a handoff to the senior Michael Parson, who had the touchdown right before halftime. Gets a little boost from Luke Lehue and pushes the pile way ahead.
Fortune untouched, and it's going to be intercepted. Pick off by Dawson.
Watch it. We were talking about something else. Yeah. Boom. Great tackle.
He's like, what?
He's the one that came in and made the tackle as well. And you know, some of those people may say, hey, well, it looks like it could have been down. Get out of here. Who cares? What a great play.
That's why they did well with that offense. Hopkins' first play of the game. He's going to go deep down the sideline. And it's a one-handed catch. And that's going to go for a touchdown.
Is that prime time? His first name is Dion, but his last name is Sanders.
They'll pitch it, throw back to Fine, and he's got a man wide open downfield. Caught at the 45. Off to the races. Touchdown, Sotomayor.
Great crowd here at Daphne tonight, 34-7. Lots to cheer for the home team. They got a kind of a slow start offensively. They were able to just got a couple of field goals to start things off, but then once they started rolling, they kind of found their way. They quickly got on top on this one. They had, again, just a couple of field goals in the first 2 drives. Nathan Varela was able to knock both of them in, but then you kind of got the rhythm here with some help on special teams.
Here's Scoot, right?
Yeah. It was Miles. Scott Miles takes that one 59 yards, his first 2 touchdowns in the first half, and that made it 13-0. And then Malone scrambled there for his first rushing touchdown in the state of Alabama. They converted on the 2-point conversion. Then Hurricanes came back, ate a couple of penalties from Daphne on the drive, and Broughton with the touchdown reception.
Gave him life at the time. It's 21-7.
Yep, and then Daphne marched it back here. Davis with a 20-yard touchdown reception here, and that made it 28-7. And then with just 2 seconds left in the first half.
Watch. And you keep going. I'll just walk in the end zone.
Scott Miles put on the brakes and who was in for the score. Look at that, 242 yards of total offense in the first half for Daphne. And a lot of penalties there, 19 of them combined in the first half. Neither coach is going to be happy about that. But Daphne just not really allowing Alma Bryant to do anything through the air.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Alma Bryant actually has 92 yards rushing, but they do. But it's been hard fought. Yeah, from about middle of the first quarter on, Daphne's really taken control of this game, and they've done it in large part with that quarterback who just made his way here from IMG Academy. He's been excellent tonight. His name is Jamar Malone, and we'll see how much he plays in the second half. Let's take a look at our Scholastic athlete, Price Beal, Alma Bryant High School. There were her credentials, pretty impressive. GPA of 4.86.
How can you do that?
President was telling me about their elevated ACT score. She's got one at 30. And, I take that back. Price Beal is a guy because he's playing football. Honors, second in graduating class, SGA officer. Pretty much done it all. So congratulations to the gentleman. Price Beal, 4.86. I don't know how.
I don't know if we've seen, that might be our all-time leader ever. Andy Citron, Scholastic athlete, the highest score we've ever seen on a GPA.
Over Daphne, Lucy McCoy, GPA of 4.0. She's a 12th grader. She plays volleyball, team co-captain. She's Daphne High School student government. She's in there. Also NAHS created Breaking the Stigma. She's also an active member of the Coastal Church. Plans to major in criminology or forensics.
Her old majors. So thanks to Andy Citron Injury Attorneys, one of those Scholastic athletes going to get a $5,000.
I'm sorry? Yeah, I grew up around so many crooks you couldn't tell one from the other. I wasn't any good at that.
Second half comes up after this from Daphne. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan here at Jubilee Stadium. Ready to start the third. Hey, we've got a game going up Bay Minette tonight. Drew Williamson just ripped off a 44-yard touchdown run for Spanish Fort to give the Toros the lead at 14-13.
Wow.
They've been trailing in that one. Saraland, last I saw, was on top of St. Paul's 27-0. But that was a bit of a surprising score up at Baldwin County. So the Hurricanes will get it to start the third. Some trouble back deep in their own end, and James will get it to the 10. And again, backed up to start this drive. You know, both coaches talked about penalties there. Kenny King mentioned it to you, but you know both of them were talking about it to their teams at halftime, Dan.
Had to be. I mean, it was the talk of the sideline. The people just standing around down there before I got a chance to do any of the interviews, they were like, man, how many flags? Got to be like a record for a first half. I said, it's somewhere around 20, and it was at 19.
And so many of them on the pre-snap variety.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that, penalties are going to happen when you're
engaged.
Play. Yeah, sure. But it's the pre-snap ones that drive coaches crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so Dixon and the Hurricanes. Bring it back out in trouble on the exchange. And Justice. Well, gain maybe a yard. Well, it's kind of a trouble there. Carter. Boy, just backs expecting to go one way and quarterbacks expecting him to be on the other side.
Yeah. It's not like you've been driving down the field all night in the first place. When you do that, you can see they lost a yard or two. Kane's not in the biggest hurry right now. That's probably a good idea.
Have to hurry a little, though. His play clock's under 5. Dixon. Oh, my goodness.
I said good idea, but it wasn't a good idea because they overextended the time in between plays. And let's see if it's a penalty or a timeout.
It looks like they took the timeout.
Yeah. Not exactly what Bart had intended, to call a timeout one play.
All right, so we're going back to the Scholastic athlete, Dan Brennan.
Yeah, I want to get the right person up here. It's Lawson Lee from Alma Bryant High
right,
School.
Right tackle for the.
That's the big tackle, right?
Yeah, exactly.
GPA, again, 4.86. Wow. ACT at 30. He's played football here for 3 years. Got honors, second in graduation class, SGA officer.
The second in graduation class, like Alma Bryant's big high school. There's a lot of kids in that high school.
And the president was telling me about their academic achievements over the last year. Some of the biggest jumps they've ever seen.
Yeah.
So a student body that's getting it done. He ranks second among all of them. So he's got a bright future somewhere. But congratulations to Lawson Lee.
All right, and thanks to Andy Sitcher, injury attorneys, right here in Daphne. Not too far from right down the road here. Not too far from the high school here in Daphne.
They're going to pick eventually one scholar athlete. I think that 4.86 might get your attention.
I don't think there could be an early leader in the clubhouse. You have to go throughout the whole season.
Right.
Certainly, 4.86 is attention grabbing. All right, 2nd and 9 after the timeout here. Dixon on the pitch to Carter. Carter gets back to the line of scrimmage, and not much more. Looked like there was a grab kind of high there, but Jace Gibson came in there and just nowhere to get to the edge here.
You know, it's not surprising, Jim, with Daphne. They just have always so much good team speed. Trying to run wide doesn't always work. Hasn't for years.
Boy, now you got to be careful. 3rd and 10, backed up at your own 10. Put the ball up in the air here with all the pressure that's been on Dixon as well. You don't want to turn it over. They go for the fullback dive, and that'll get a yard and bring up 4th down on a uneventful first series here for the Hurricanes.
And it started out bad with the poor return after they just couldn't get that ball off the ground. Ended up in bad field position and not a very successful drive.
Now Green will stand back at the 11 as Bryson Gannon is in his own end zone. Good kick. Green lets this one bounce, and it takes a Daphne hop. And boy, the Hurricanes didn't down that one as quickly as they would have liked to. It's the 39. So just a 28-yard net punt. And great field position again for the Daphne offense. And we'll see Jamar Malone come out here. You know, all the offers we were talking about reading earlier from out west, he got so many of the schools out west, and you have to wonder with the move to come down to IMG and then here, if the young man is saying, you know, I want to play in the SEC. I want to expose myself to a little more regional action here, and want to be in the SEC.
Yeah, he's just a junior. He looks like an SEC quarterback to me.
Give it up. Scott Miles turns the corner and gets pulled down at the 35-yard line, and now we've got a injured Hurricane up near the line of scrimmage. And is that Cameron Mose, the sophomore middle linebacker. Get an officials stoppage here as they check on the sophomore Mose.
You know, Scott Miles, but I'll get to it after the break, but interesting nickname.
Yeah. Take a timeout here. 34-7, Daphne on top. So they're still tending to Mose, and looks like I don't want to speculate, but maybe a shoulder. Let's watch here on the left-hand side. Oh, yeah, just kind of shoulder to shoulder.
Nick Clark.
Yep. And so Mose goes off, and Scoot Miles. I've been calling him Scott all night. Jason, his real name, but for some reason I had Scott instead of Scoot written down here.
Well, it was when he scored that touchdown in the corner of the end zone right before the half, his teammates were going crazy. Go, Scoot.
Oh, so they did throw a flag on that as well and called it a crackback block.
Okay, definitely penalized with that.
All the way back to the 47. So that'll be a 1st and 25 coming up here. Malone with the fake, steps up in the pocket and now floats it to Clark up the near side, and he was just leaning toward the Daphne sideline, so couldn't keep his feet inbounds, but he gets it up to the 41.
At least the first drive of the second half, I guess they're going to let Malone do what Malone does. He's smooth. And Clark, for his body size, has really good hands. You don't normally see a guy built like a fullback that can catch it out of the backfield with ease. He can.
Malone fires it to the middle of the field as he gets it to Donnelly, and he's going to be just short of the first down, bring up 3rd and short for the Trojans. Malone has not really been pressured much in the pocket tonight.
No, that was a good example of it right there. The lack of pressure on Malone.
Daly comes in motion. Give it to Clark, who kind of dances a bit, and then Clark breaks a tackle. Nick Clark in for the score. 30-yard touchdown. And the Trojans continue to build on their lead with another A&S Calvert touchdown. And another Hurricane down as well. Let's watch patience here by Clark in the backfield.
Yeah, look, that offensive line pushing, though. That hole opens up eventually, and it's not long. And then Clark knows what to do with the open space. Had a great year last year as a junior. Talked about that, over 1,000 yards.
Yep. And really was going to be, the real focus of this offense for Daphne. It was going to be a lot. Everything was going to go through Clark, and it still will. But boy, now when you have a quarterback, as we see, that Broughton is down.
Yeah, that's Broughton.
Looks like he's just getting stretched out for a cramp, though. So that's.
Yeah, it's painful, but it's temporary. So we know that. But man.
So yeah, but now the offense for Daphne, like suddenly just like the weaponry has just been expanded in a huge way.
With one player.
Yep.
He's that impactful a player. You can see it on the field tonight. 7A has just changed and shifted in a big way. 7A Region 1.
Let's watch here as Broughton
he slipped.
Went down and then just like still stretching him out.
Jim, it's interesting down there at halftime, getting ready to talk to the students and to the president of Alma, Bryant. And, first of all, of course, the coach leading at halftime, Kenny King. You could just feel it on the sideline. You could feel the coaching staff, the team, almost like things have just changed for Daphne High School.
Yeah, I mean,
if you think you can feel it up here on the sideline, you knew it.
Yeah, it came in a little bit in the second half last week, but got the start here tonight. And
he probably hasn't had to learn the whole playbook. They haven't thrown it all at him, but he looks comfortable with what they decided to run.
And you would think the playbook's going to definitely be changing as well to add new things instead of being so run heavy.
You got to compliment a young guy like that and give him a chance to do what he does, because he is. It's not even speculation. He's done it in Arizona.
Right.
Pretty much the player of the year in 5A in that state.
Just 3 plays on the scoring drive after the short punt, and Nick Clark with the 31-yard touchdown run, and Daphne in control of this one here, 41-7, just early. Early in the third, our Coast Guard color cam.
Had to fight my way through the students on the way down the field at halftime. Much jubilation at Jubilee Stadium on this night. We've still got 9 minutes to go in the 8.5 in the third quarter.
And Jordan James for the Hurricanes, right up the middle with a bunch of speed and up to about the 37-yard line. And let's see if the Canes can. That first drive was not good. Another penalty, miscommunication in the backfield, and see if they can get a little something going here. Get some building blocks here for later in the season.
Yeah, and I think by the fourth quarter we're going to see a lot of Daphne substitutions to get some young people into the game that generally don't get a whole lot of run on a Friday night. They can afford to do that this evening.
Thompson beat Vestavia Hills 7A matchup tonight, 21-3. Takes a bobbled pitch, and again it's just bobbled momentarily, and then really nothing that Justice Carter could do before Andre Houston is right there, the junior, to bring him down.
Houston's had a good game too, one of the linebacker spots.
Yeah, just crashing down. And
yeah, he's been good, very active.
Second and long again coming up here for the Hurricanes. They've just been not able to get that running game going on first down, like you've talked about all night. Just have not really been able to get ahead of the sticks very often.
Not at all.
Dixon lobs it up the near side, hung up, and back there in coverage, Bradley Thomas, as he was looking for Landon Pace. And it'll bring up 3rd and 10. And 3rd and long again for the Trojans.
It's a pretty good road trip coming from the Bayou to Daphne, too.
Yeah.
Got to get all the way to Mobile and hang a right.
Yeah, there's no easy way to get.
No, Friday evening traffic as well. Wasn't too bad coming over, though.
I didn't think so either. 3rd and 10. Pressure from the backside, and Graham again just buries Dixon.
Boy, when you're confronted by Graham and 6'2", 265 Tyler Durant, that's a sandwich you don't want to be the middle of. Poor Dixon's had to hurry all night. That time he just had no chance because it was to his backside.
Yeah, rolling out to the blind side. Did a good job to hold onto the football. Boy, that's such a dangerous play for quarterback, too, because you're getting driven down to your throwing shoulder.
Yeah. And Durant came in a little bit, after the play was already settled.
Good kick, and Green was thinking about grabbing it, but instead it goes down to the 25-yard line. And she said we'll probably start to see some cleaner jerseys coming in for the Trojans as we get closer to the fourth quarter. 6.5 to go here in the third.
Malone's jersey's still clean, as is.
And I think are the officials going to take their heat time out? Not sure.
Of course, tonight's action brought to you by the Mobile County Sheriff's Office provides a challenging and interesting job opportunity. Join Team Sheriff today at teamsheriff.org. Also, Local 505. They bring our halftime show to you, I do believe, right?
They do.
Yeah. That's the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBEW Local 505. Thank you for sponsoring halftime, guys.
So we'll keep it here. Not sure why they taking the time out taking the heat time. It's supposed to be the first whistle after the 6-minute mark, and that's twice we've taken it. Once 37 seconds, once 35 seconds before.
That's how jazz music started. Not always going by the rules.
Well, I didn't think rules, like improvisation and rules, don't usually go in the same sentence. But anyway, we've got that one behind us here in the
yeah.
third quarter.
Another enlightening conversation that our audience will never forget.
Trying to get an update there from Baldwin County's. Malone fires incomplete on that one. And boy, Baker on top of Davidson, 41-7. Big night for Flowers, 167 yards rushing, 167 yard passing, 151 rushing. Saw that young man a couple of times the past Friday nights from Baker. 2nd and 10. Willoughby moves it up to about the 30. And 3rd and about 5. Coming up. I think we'll be back on Mobile side of the bay next Friday night at Saraland, right? We've got Spanish Ford and Saraland, 6A matchup.
Talking to Coach Kelly earlier today about tonight's game and also that game.
Willoughby stopped on 3rd down for a loss. Alex Brown able to get in there and make the stop and force Daphne to punt.
Congratulated Jeff Kelly on. In fact, he's the coach of America's team. But they are getting some national publicity and love with their play so far. One of them on national TV. So the Trojans have got Davidson next, right?
Yep, they're at Davidson. Pressure coming, but low end over end kick that the Hurricanes will just get away from, and good field position for the Canes coming up at the 47. As we're down to 5 minutes to go in the 3rd. And Canes will come back out here, and starting to see some New Jersey numbers out there on defense for the Daphne Trojans.
Yeah, maybe the Canes can open some holes, create an extended drive here.
Douglas and Justice Carter come in behind Dixon, as they have most of the night here. Carter wants to keep it himself. Runs out of bounds into Daphne territory. I'll mark him right at the midfield stripe.
Yeah, I believe some of the most terrorizing defenders the first 3 quarters of this game have taken a seat for Daphne, some of them anyway.
Yeah, they still got a bunch of them in there, but they're starting to bring a few.
Yeah, little by little. See Lambert still in there.
And 2nd and 7 here for the Hurricanes. Dixon rolling out, fires, and incomplete. Bring up third down. So I had a thought about tomorrow's Alabama-Texas game.
Lay it on me.
You know, it's being broadcast right before that. Is it the finals from the U.S. Open on the women's side?
Okay.
What if that goes long? Just what if the broadcast goes long? What if that gets stretched out, you know, like into extra sets, and they can't cut away from the finals of the U.S. Open on 3rd down?
Are they both on SEC or on CBS?
And I think Yes, I think that's the.
We've got a penalty here going to extend the drive.
Yeah, they had him stopped. Yeah, so it's both games on ESPN, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So now this.
Well, they've only got about 5 different networks, so flip it on one of those.
Okay. But that people would not be as excited to be watching, and we're back at Deuce on.
Yeah. Well,
in the finals.
The the lack of notoriety will just be temporary, Jim.
The women's, I know, it's just 2 out of 3 on the women's side. It's not like on the men's side. We got to go 5, So it wouldn't. But I just thought it would just be, that would cause some upset people.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think about the game? There's some people not even watching the game.
Yeah.
It's been crazy out there with the landscape of you have this, you don't have that.
Correct. And so the penalty was not enough for a first down, but it'll be 3rd and 2. And Daphne will take a timeout.
Really?
Yeah, they would. We'll take it with them. They would have had too many men on the field. So we're almost through the 3rd here on Friday Night Rivals.
We're trying.
There you see Isaiah Dixon.
He's been a gamer.
Oh, for sure. And 3rd and 2 coming up here. And now Daphne with a late addition on the field, and that's going to allow a big gain by Carter as he's all the way down to the 20 as he picks up 29. And it's a first down for the Hurricanes. So Daphne had to take a timeout because they were going to have too many players in the field, and then they had one coming on way late, and then Justice Carter with a big rip there, and they'll give it right back to him on the left side as the Hurricanes are in the Dr. Pepper maroon zone. Big run by Carter. You can see when they get that offense going, you can see how they could have some explosive plays.
Yep. Just need to get a crease, get a block.
Now in the 4th quarter, Spanish Fort on top of Baldwin County, 14-13 still. Williamson going to get a win over Alberta on 2nd and 8. Oh. Movement on the right side of the Hurricane. Oh, no, called on Daphne. Wow, I thought he moved on the right side of the line, but this one's going to go against the Trojans, so it'll be 5 yards. 28-7 now, Mary G on top of Foley in that big battle. Faith Academy trying to claw back in now, 24-16.
Gulf Shores.
Yep. Pensacola Catholic leading Fairhope 24-0. That brought a roar from the crowd when it was announced here.
That's a good program over in Pensacola.
2nd and 3. Looking to pass. Dixon rolling out, open in the back of the end zone, able to get it for the touchdown as they bring the big fella Reggie Mosley over from his defensive end spot, and he gets the touchdown. And he looked pretty comfortable running that route and making that reception there.
Yeah, Dixon looked very comfortable rolling right and making the throw, too.
AM&S Calvert touchdown, and Mosley, they'll bring him in a lot, and he'll just be like a big blocking tight end, but this time they slip him out. As much as you can just slip out a 6'3", 256-pound Hurricane, and Mosley with the good hands. And Gannon converts, and it's 41-14. Oh, nice ball there. 2 touchdown passes tonight for Isaiah Dixon. If I would have told Bart Sessions before the game, hey, Dixon's going to have 2 via the air tonight, he probably would have thought it was going to be 41-14 with those 2 scores.
He'd have taken that to the bank, but I don't think he anticipated that this offense would be so prolific here in the first start of the season. for Jamar Malone.
Yep, now we got the Hurricane cheerleaders over there. Coast Guard color game, school colors cam. The Coast Guard's probably never been more proud than that. The read I just gave on that one there, huh?
Yeah.
I probably would have to do some push-ups on the deck or something for the way I brutalized that one. So Coast Guard,
you'd be landlocked for a
color
while.
cam, yeah. Theodore, our old friend Steve Mask leading Murphy 39-8 in the third quarter. Now 52-28. Baker on top of Davidson, 41-3. Saraland on top of St. Paul's. Our U.S. Army kickoff. And looks like Malone's going to head back out there for.
Maybe one more swan song before the fourth quarter starts. Great looking player.
Yep, for sure.
Or you just say great player.
All the
whatever you want to say.
Perfect frame. 6'2", 205, just a junior. Dumps to the near side to Daly, and he'll get pushed to the near side. 5 plays, 53 yards, and the Reggie Mosley touchdown reception for Bart Sessions' squad. The scoring drive summary brought to you by the Mobile County Sheriff's Department. Citronelle leads Viger 28-20. Woo. At Viger. How about that?
That would be an upset.
Chickasaw, St. Luke's on top of Chickasaw 29-20. Inside give with not much there for the Trojans. Bring up third down as.
Let me see, as the dominoes fell, the quarterback that was Snow
at Daphne, yep, up at
is now Citronelle.
Yep. Now 3rd and 10. Malone, pressure coming, avoids that. Now he's going to pull it down and
good tackle.
Get it up to the 35 and nowhere else to go there. Is good defense by the Hurricanes. I think you're probably Kenny King and seeing him scramble around there, be like, okay, maybe that's enough now at this point of the game.
No kidding. This guy is he's just going to be a game changer on this team and in this region.
As we said, as a sophomore, led his team in Arizona last year to the state championship game, threw 4 touchdown passes in the state championship game, threw 44 on the year, rushed for 12 more in addition to his 4,000 yards through the air, rushed for almost 1,000 yards.
You see the skills, how he did it. The numbers were mind-boggling, and then you watch the kid play and say, I get it.
5A in Arizona. I'm not sure how many classifications there are in Arizona, but either way, 5A is going to be up toward the upper echelon.
Yeah.
It's like, 7 in Alabama, and that's a lot for a lot of states.
Yep. Not the last time you'll see him.
I think we'll see him again in next month here on Friday Night Rivals. This one will back Daphne up 5 more with the punt team. Out here, Hayden Davis back to receive for the Hurricanes. End over end kick, and Davis calls for a fair catch at the 43, so good field position again for the Hurricanes.
What do we know? What do we know after 3 weeks now, Jim, of the high school season here in
Saraland's really
South
good.
Alabama? We knew that, we do know that they continue to be very, very good. If their defense plays well, like they're still shutting down St. Paul's.
Yeah,
because that offense is they're gonna show up every week.
No doubt. UMS in a battle with LaFleur, 13-6 in the third quarter. It's still, it seems like there's the dominant teams as Carter will pick up another 11 here on first down and move it into Daphne territory. I'm not, it seems like there might be just a lot of, you got Saraland, who's obviously the class of the southern part of the state right now, but might be just a lot of teams that are just going to be very similar and be a lot of those playoff races and things really bunched up, both 6A and 7A.
And with the transfer in
5A, yeah.
of this young guy here in Daphne, they're trying to become less similar than their opponents.
Yeah,
and I think they have.
Oh, I mean, totally changed things around here they came in, they scored, 19 points against Murphy, who's, going to have another tough year, it looks like. And they got 12, they scored 7 last week against Carter. And then here tonight, they put up 41 against 7A competition. And
yeah, that was Malone's first game when they got 7 last week. This is his first start.
Yeah, came in the second half. And that will bring quarter number 3 to a close. And we'll come back for the fourth. Daphne been after it all night tonight. Nick Clark, the senior, punched this one in from 30. All Trojans tonight here on Friday Night Rivals. We're ready to start the fourth. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, our great Friday Night Rivals crew here tonight in Daphne, where the Trojans have been impressive from the get-go. And to start the fourth, Hurricanes keep it with Justice Carter. Pick up 10, another first down. Carter's putting together some impressive numbers on the ground here tonight.
You're right. It's kind of lit up here in the second half a little bit.
Got a little Margaritaville going here, a little tribute to JB here in Daphne.
What do you think about the citywide celebration tomorrow?
It's going to be on Sunday, right?
Sunday, I'm sorry, yeah.
As Dixon rolls out, looking again, was trying to go to the big fella Mosley downfield. Just overthrew him a touch. So clock will stop again with the incomplete. So got the student body singing it down here.
Pretty cool.
Daphne kids singing it, cheerleaders as well. Lucky enough to see him just down the road. Judge Roy Beans one time in 1998.
No kidding.
Busting it out to the outside. Carlito Davis for the Canes in for the score. 35-yard scamper. And Davis with an A&S Calvert touchdown. Hurricanes getting some things to build on here.
Well, you got 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. You can dream a little bit.
The senior
cut the lead in half.
Yeah, Carlito Davis.
Haven't seen much of him tonight.
Gannon with the PAT, and it's 41-21. And
it's good to have some things to get on the bus.
Yeah, that's actually Carlito Davis who got that score there, not
Cash.
No.
It's such a long ride back, but they'll have some things to celebrate tonight.
Yeah, and they're not going to be trying to run the ball against the likes of this Daphne defense every Friday night either.
No, true. This is probably as good a line up front as you're going to run into. Oh, good up front. Their linebackers the linebackers for Daphne are young, but they are fast. That back end is pretty secure too.
Yeah.
So,
and they didn't get that front push was so good tonight. They didn't. The young linebackers didn't have a lot of.
No, opportunity.
No.
Andre Houston did, though, a little bit. He flashed on us.
Gannon on for the kick to try the onside kick. Instead tries the pooch kick, and Davis smartly calls for the fair catch at the 26. Yep, we're going to see more of Jamar Malone, it looks like. But there was no continuous clock or anything, so there's a lot of football left to be played here. So I think a lot of times you get the continuous clock, both coaches will kind of look up and say, okay, we can go a little continuous clock, but then the Hurricanes have knocked in a couple of quick ones here.
Yeah, tightened it up.
Yep.
Daphne could still control the clock with Clark if they wish.
Or Willoughby. And Willoughby will get one.
Yeah. They can take their time getting back to the line of scrimmage. You can do a number of things here to secure the game without throwing another bomb.
Yeah, and let the play clock be your ally.
Yeah, exactly. It's at 25 right now. Let's see what kind of hurry this team is in to snap it. They snap it with about 15 left, but of course, there's a whistle.
Yeah, looked like the Canes jumped first. They weren't going to call that one, and then you got movement on the right side of the line, and they will. We'll call that.
This is like trying to get a Camry out of the mud. I don't know if you're familiar with anything like that.
It was about this time last week that we do a little work on your car over there in Spanish Fork.
Desperate measures for Danny B. Jim Cox,
already
the savior.
Change clothes.
Oh, yeah.
In my flip-flops.
Oh, yeah. You look like you were a cold one in.
Malone reverses field on the scramble. Got a great block. And then steps out of bounds. And now there's going to be a blindside block called. Wow,
Goodness.
I thought that was just a good block when he turned the corner, but Cooper Donahue put a big block on, but I think they're going to say maybe the crackback.
Crackback variety, huh?
It was big.
Spanish Fort, very interesting parking situation there. Get into that again if you want to.
For one car.
So the press parks behind the west end zone.
Two on, okay, so watch. It should be right in the middle of your screen. Yeah, this is. Yeah, that was. That was not a blindside crack block. It didn't look.
He didn't see him. I mean, it didn't like run a long way to get him, but.
And he was standing in front of it. I don't know. I mean, I know that it's always.
They were going to collide one way or the other.
And they have an illegal shift penalty as well. So. I know we still don't have. Referee Brooks is yet to get the microphone on. So, yeah, a second. And they have to get just outside of point clear for the first down.
Old mullet point, huh?
Yeah. And hit is Malone. The ball's loose and recovered by the Hurricanes. Pressure from the backside. Billups came in, put the hit on, and got the football as well. And now Daphne is going to have it at the 13-yard line with a chance to cut this to 2 scores. Or Bryant. Let's watch here. Big hit came from A.J. Pratt. Pratt was the one who got there first, and I think it was Billups who came up with the loose.
Yeah, you're giving Bryant some hope here. Not only a turnover, Jim. Look where it's at.
Yeah, they're at the 13, already in the maroon zone. And if they score here, suddenly a two-score game. That's a dangerous. It was Alex Brown who got on it 19, not 18. A dangerous hit. Quarterback was extended, getting ready to throw there. Oh my goodness. I don't think he got the play off. Guys, Malone was outstretched in the throwing motion and hit in a delay of game. Oh, now. No, an illegal. We're going to call that an illegal substitution on. Yeah, illegal substitution on Daphne. Now the play clock was down to 0.
Well, a player running for the sidelines didn't make it to the sideline, be my guess.
Yeah. So 1st and 5. Put it at the 8 for the Hurricanes. Dixon to Justice Carter. Carter hit and driven toward the sideline. Caden Williams, the sophomore, in to make the tackle, and 2nd down coming up.
Gained a couple.
Yeah, I almost feel like a to-goal situation. You can get the 1st down, but you want to get it punched in quickly here. If you're look at everybody just tried to go just on the quarterback keeper, and Dixon there trying to rip that ball out of Dixon's hands, but
this game becoming very competitive again, huh?
Yeah, there's Al Woodard in there, no gain, and now it's 3rd and 3. Again, they can get the 1st down. Douglas at fullback. Carter there as well. Carter going to be.
Looked like he was about to find some daylight, and suddenly it was gone.
It's going to be super close here.
You're at 4th and 1.
Yeah. Oh, boy, you got to get a yard here at least. Really would like to get the touchdown. It's less than a yard. See what Dixon and crew. Dixon gives it off and bouncing to the outside and in for the touchdown. His 2nd of the night, Carlito Davis. M&S Calvert touchdown. Bart Sessions happy with his team and saying, hey, kick the point after. M&S Calvert, innovations in steel, strengthened by people, now hiring at amscalvertjobs.com. Come on. Chance to cut it to 14 here, Dan Brennan.
Amazing.
3 straight touchdowns.
21 in a row, I was going to say. And with the extra point, it's good.
And there's 7:50 left.
Kenny King and his group, they've got something to think about now.
Bart Sessions and his crew fired up and happy. Got a game here late.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Greer's. They are the sponsor of the starting lineups, proud longtime sponsor of our starting lineups on UTV 44 and Friday Night Rivals. And of course, they've been serving the community for 107 years. Also by the U.S. Army. Our kickoffs are presented by the U.S. Army. Be all you can be. Find your path at goarmy.com. And also the United States Coast Guard. U.S. Coast Guard is proud to sponsor the presentation of the colors each Friday night. To learn more about career opportunities with the U.S. Coast Guard, contact a recruiter today or visit gocoastguard.com.
All right. U.S. Army kickoff coming up here. We'll see if we'll Gannon just pooch it like he did last time. Sends this one really high in the air, and it bounces, and so the Hurricanes fall on it at the 30. Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Austin Allen, I believe, is the one who ended up with those flags down in the field. There was pushing and shoving, but the ball was bouncing around. You were just like, okay, somebody just hop on it.
Yeah, wasn't that something?
There's a flag on the play.
Okay, watch here to your left of your screen. So it just hits the ground. It's legal ball at this point, but nobody wanted to just grab it and touch it.
No.
Finally, Austin Allen says, "I will."
I think that's Davis down there scored a touchdown earlier. So a player used to having the ball in his hands.
Great kick by Gannon. And then we got 2 flags there. So it might just be offsetting. No, it's going to get, unless they walk. Personal foul against Daphne. So tack 15 on, actually make it half the distance, and they'll put it at the 14-yard line.
Amazing.
With 7:46 to go. Handoff. Justice Carter spins. Justice Carter on his feet and into the end zone. Touchdown, Hurricanes.
How about what we're looking at now?
A&S Calvert touchdown, and the Hurricanes, a Category 5 comeback, are within 8.
Boy, these turnovers right down closer to the goal line have given them life for sure. And look at the effort now out of the Canes. And he's making sure he's in and across. Watch Bart. He's just coaching. He's saying we're going for 1.
Gannon with a chance to cut it now to 6. So
the kick is up and good. Your new score.
I mean, it's a 6-point game.
So if you know somebody that walked away from the game and is doing something different right now, you might want to alert them.
When I said we had plenty of football left to play, I didn't really mean it. Like, I meant like
in matter of minutes and seconds.
And all of a sudden, all the pressure has shifted. Like the millibars keep going down and down and down in this hurricane, which makes it more dangerous. And all the pressure on the Daphne Trojans right now.
Yeah, here's the first pressure point. Catching the kickoff.
Yeah.
That's now something that they're going to feel pressure doing.
7:38 left here. It was 41-14.
Never 41-7?
Might have been.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was 41-7.
Yeah.
That seems like forever ago. Now, Gannon looks to the sideline. Now he's trying to decide if he wants to onside kick, pooch it. Pooches this one just short. They call for a fair catch. And this time, Daphne able to do it is Chase Gibson.
That's
makes the catch
outside linebacker.
Yeah, so their offense is going to come out here. They have not been on the field much here the fourth quarter. And I mean, we were wondering, midway through the third, how much longer Malone was going to stay in there at quarterback.
Yep.
We thought rest him and
Oh,
Clark.
we were talking about all this like past tense.
Yeah.
And he's got to win this game before he changes the region like I was talking about earlier.
So Clark with the handoff. And he'll get a nice gain of 6 on first down.
He's going to get it again.
Clark on the carry.
I think if Kenny King never saw the Trojans throw another pass tonight, he'd be happy just to keep the clock running.
Yeah, he would know that things turned out well.
And they hurry up to the line of scrimmage and give it off to Clark. And Clark bounces it to the outside, and now he's inside the 30, down to about the 29-yard line, a first down.
Number 45, Nick Clark on the carry.
You can see why I've talked so much about this young man coming into the season. But there's a flag all the way back at the 47.
Coming back.
Back toward I-10.
Wow.
So we're closing in on the 3-hour mark of this game. You know, sometimes they like to blame TV for making the games longer. It ain't been us tonight.
No.
Holding against the Trojans. Oh, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against
Holding against the Trojans. Unsportsmanlike conduct
the Hurricanes. So we'll bring this one back up to the 50.
If you want to know why the game's running so well, number of reasons. There are a combined 28 penalties in this game.
That'll do it.
That will do it.
It's a lot of them pre-snap infractions.
I'll bet you there are Daphne fans who went home, turned on the game, and are like,
wait, what?
What?
41-35, 7 minutes to go. I mean, it's why this is the game of the week. Look at this. It's a 6-point game with 7 minutes to go. It's why
we knew it the whole way.
Yeah, right. Now the officials trying to get this.
While we have a second tonight, split the punt winner, the lucky recipient of ticket number 0489.
Mary G with an impressive win tonight, 28-7 over Foley.
5538. If you have that ticket, please report to the press box.
Chances that the person who has the winning split the pot ticket didn't leave 45 minutes ago?
I don't know.
All right, so should make this second at about 6. Okay, that's what we got. Malone gives it off to Clark. Clark's going to pick up 5 and bring up 3rd and 1 at the 45.
Has a habit of dragging people with him, doesn't he?
Clark on the carry.
Slim down version.
31.
Quick, but still powerful.
We are approaching the halfway point of the fourth quarter. Malone gives it back to Clark. Clark was hit in the backfield, but pushes forward, and he's going to have the first down.
Clark on the carry.
Had a chance to stop him behind the line of scrimmage.
For a Daphne first down.
Clark is simply not a guy that's often going to go down with one defender in the backfield.
So now we'll get our heat timeout again prior to 6 minutes. But why question it now? Halfway through the fourth. Yes, halfway through the fourth. 41-35 here on Friday Night Rivals, but we've been here long enough. We don't have to take another break, I guess. I guess we'll just keep it here. Dan Brennan will just tell us more about our friends like Roof Doctors.
Roof Doctors got a sick roof? Call the doctor, a proud supporter of the student athletes of Friday Night Rivals. Thank you to Roof Doctors. Also, Fast Signs, transforming your place begins at our place. Let Fast Signs help you make your statement. And also Herc Reynolds, they're the eye in the sky that you see from the end zone, providing our eye in the sky. Herc Reynolds is a proud and long-time supporter of Friday Night Rivals on New TV 44.
Spanish Fort beat Baldwin County 14-13, 6A battle there. Pensacola Catholic wins 24-10. There's our Herc Reynolds eye in the sky. 24-10 over a beat Fairhope. Williamson a win over Alberta tonight. Mary G beat Foley, as I said, 28-7, 31-16. Gulf Shores goes out to Faith Academy. Also not a short bus ride. Connect through Atlanta, usually. Clark on first down. Big hole for the Trojans and another first down to the 30. Theodore beat Murphy. Baker.
45, Nick Clark on the carry.
Baker on top of Davidson, 66-28 in the third, last score we had. All right, now let's see if Daphne starts using the play clock a little more. Here. Nope, they'll snap it with 25 seconds left and give it back to Clark. Clark bangs down to the 25. You know, it's a little hard, just no matter what level, when you're a player, you're kind of on the sidelines and the game's in control, and it's kind of hard to turn that switch back on.
What I witnessed even at halftime, that was going to be tough for them to do. So, kudos to the group from Bila Battery for turning this into a game.
Malone scrambles, now spins in the open field, still on his feet inside the 10, and wrestled down at the 9. First and goal, Trojans into the Dr. Pepper Maroon zone.
Yeah, this guy. But I think that was a run all the way. Quarterback draw, and then he was just trying to decide where to go with it. And
he's just so poised in open field, and
a big, strong body. People just kind of sheds people easily.
And a timeout taken by the Hurricanes.
Alma Bryant.
With 5 minutes left in. Yeah, let's figure out how we got where we were. It was 41-7 at this point, right, Dan Brennan?
I believe it was.
Yeah, Mosley.
Now it's 41-14 because of that score.
Yep, and then getting around the corner was Carlito Davis.
Yep. Gets all the way, 41-21.
And then the kick that just nobody wanted to get on, either white or gold, and then touchdown.
That's part of the story right there.
That made it 41-35, and now Daphne marching back. But Bart Session will be proud of the way his team is not giving up, and also, but there'll be some good coachable moments that Kenny King will take out of this if they hold on to win this as well, despite just the victory, of course. But if they're able to hold on.
Yeah, a lot of this was self-inflicted, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they gave the ball to Alma Bryant time and time again with very short fields. But credit Alma Bryant, who had a tough time mustering offense, cashing in each time.
Malone gives it off to Clark, and he's in for the Trojan touchdown.
Clark on the carry is good.
Now the A&S Calvert touchdown. You would guess they would go for 2 here, so try to get back up to a 14-point lead. A&S Calvert. Innovations in steel, strengthened by people. They're now hiring. A&SCalvertJobs.com is
Very good.
Clark.
They're kicking the extra point. Or am I wrong?
Nope, they got Malone out there. Malone and Clark.
Okay. All right.
I mean, Malone could probably kick it.
Looks like one of those pass, punt, kick guys, right?
Malone on the keeper. And on the left side,
Easy.
converts for 2.
Easy. The Alma Bryant defense probably a new level of exhausted at this point. But
as for that young man, all the push-ups, now he's got to do 49. He's getting a little help there. He's not really doing a push-up.
No.
Where's the board? Like, it's not really a...
yeah, that's not what we saw earlier. So now you've got 4:59 left.
Yeah.
You got the lead back up to a couple of scores.
Got our United States Coast Guard school colors camera.
There you go.
Yeah, that's I'm throwing a flag on that. I mean, there's so many we've had here tonight, but he's supposed to he was on the board doing the push-ups.
Yeah.
And now it's all of the young men behind him who are doing all the lifting.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's a flag. That's a flag on the play. We started singing Margaritaville, and it all changed down there.
Yeah, you know, they had to get their head back in the game, too, as the fans.
See, Jamar Malone. Line drive kick. That one goes in the end zone. So back to the 20 will come. It feels a little less nervous over here on this sideline now than it did a few minutes ago.
Malone has rushed for 94 yards, by the way. He's 14 of 20 passing, 159 yards, a couple of touchdowns. He's run for 1. I think we just saw that. Nick Clark, 11 rushes, 101 yards. That's for Daphne's offense.
Yeah, and had a 38-yarder called back on a penalty earlier.
Yep.
All right, now play clock down to 2. Dixon gets it off, looking to pass. Graham back there, eludes Graham, now reverses field, still looking downfield. But he'll run and get pushed out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Stop the clock. 4:48 to go. Daphne had good help over the top on the deep receiver there.
Yeah, they're trying to strike gold there.
Yeah, Woodard, he's played a lot of secondary, a lot of big games back there. He doesn't let a lot get behind him.
No.
But still a pickup of 4 on first down. Dixon on the keeper, ball poked free, and he goes back to recover it at the 19. Who tried to jump through the pile there, and one of the Trojans got a hat or a big hand on the ball to pop it free. Now 3rd and 10. There's that last scoring drive for the Trojans. 7 plays, 56 yards before Malone capped it off for 2 after the Clark touchdown. 3rd and 10. Dixon throws it out, but falling down when he made the reception was Douglas. If he could have stayed on his feet, he would have been able to get up and get the first down.
Now they're facing a 4th down at about 4, maybe 3, long 3.
Yeah, you gotta go for it here.
Oh yeah.
And this Hurricane offense, they might be a little tired on the field right now, as much as they've been out here in the 4th quarter.
200 rushing yards tonight.
Wow.
Didn't see that coming much of the game.
All right. Dixon wants to keep it, tried to cut it back up in the spot. Ooh, he's going to be close. Look at the official on the far side where he runs in. Kind of lost his footing. Daphne's saying he was stopped short. Hurricane saying, nope, first down.
Oh, wow. It's right at the line.
And Dixon kind of lost his footing as he went to cut it back up. We got a Lambert was slow to get up. I think he's going to be short. It sure looked like it at first. Yeah, I mean, you can see there. He's
got to get to the line.
Yeah.
It started at the 20.
Yeah, and he's like the ball's. I mean, I don't have a certification or anything like that from the Bay Area officials crew or whatever, but if the ball's not to the 30 and the drive started on the 20, just want a little drama here because we haven't had enough in the 4th quarter to measure it.
Well, they can breathe again, Daphne and their fans.
Yeah, Dixon on the keeper that he kind of lost his footing as he went to cut it back. He knew he had to get there. And we still have 3.5 minutes of football to.
Yeah, this
we may delay the start of the Texas-Alabama game at this pace.
The exhausted Alma Bryant defense is going to have a hard time just keeping the score the same at this point.
Malone gives it to Clark, and now you would think Daphne would really slow things down and slow play the clock and let the play clock wind all the way down.
Well, you the viewers got 2 games in one tonight, or maybe 3.
Now, after Colby Donnelly had to come off, I don't know, he had an equipment problem or something, but Antoine Sledge replaces him. And now Hurricanes will do some substituting as well, and they'll rewind the clock. 20 seconds, and Malone just looking at the play clock and letting this one wind all the way down, and he'll snap it at 5. Malone pulls it down. Now he wants to get to the outside, and Malone gets pulled down at the 18-yard line. It'll be good for a first down. He stays inbounds in the Dr. Pepper maroon zone. That will stop the clock while they reset the chains.
Who would have guessed that he'd be taking snaps this deep into the fourth quarter?
Yeah, certainly not an hour and a half ago, not 2 hours ago. I mean, not at halftime, you didn't think.
No, certainly not.
Of course, a couple of weeks ago, who'd have thought he'd been taking snaps in Daphne, right?
That's a very good point. What a world we live in. It was the turnovers that gave Alma Bryant the ball in short territory.
Still on his feet is Clark, and Clark he lost the football right as he hit toward the goal line. Still loose. And it goes out of the back of the end zone. And it's going to be a touchback.
Wow.
And Alma Bryant's going to get the ball at the 20.
That's something.
Clark, right as he went to the goal line, was spinning, and the ball came out right as he came down. We'll get a good look at it here. Clark, who's had the big night. Let's watch. He's going to try to reach it out. He's at the 5, still on his feet. Spins. It looks like he's in the end zone when it comes. But it might have been coming loose. And then it was like hacky sack there for a bit in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, the fans here are all saying he was in. Of course, that would be, they're looking at all as fans. Alma Bryant's going to get the football here with a minute 48 to go.
Back out to the 20. And Dixon and crew. Justice Carter breaks an ankle tackle and gets out of bounds at the 25 or so. That does stop the clock. Justice Carter's had a nice night.
He really has.
Mm-hmm. All in the second half.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Daphne just crowding the line of scrimmage.
Carter's got 109 yards.
Believe it.
Yeah.
Davis up to the 29-yard line.
Short of the first down, brings up 3rd down.
Clock still running. They didn't even have anybody out wide. Just double tight ends, going to keep banging it to the inside and breaking for a first down out to the 36. Got away from Graham.
Be a 1st and 10, Bryant.
Clock stops with 1:10 left. Now it starts to wind again. Nobody out wide for the Trojans. I should say for the Hurricanes. Like Daphne might have jumped offside there for what feels like our 48th penalty of the game.
You're probably not far off. Be our 29th. I'm sorry, 29th.
Encroachment against the Trojans.
So 1st and 5, under a minute here. Kenny King just can't get this thing over quick enough. He's
no
just
kidding.
Like, get me back in that dressing room. Dixon looking to pass, instead going to pull it down and up the near side and out.
Number 5 on the carry.
There's a flag right over here by the Daphne sideline at the end of that play.
There's a flag on the play.
So that'll get us to our 30 penalty number for the night.
That'll do it.
Holding on the edge there on the Hurricanes.
At 44 seconds left to go. They're down 14.
Holding against the Hurricanes.
They were down 34.
Yeah. That's why they're treating 14 like it's nothing. It's going to be really interesting talking to Kenny King after this game if he's more exhausted than he is exuberant, right?
Yeah, he probably tip his cap a little bit to the way the Hurricane players didn't give up across the way either.
They most certainly did not. I mean, everything was against them. The stadium, the score.
Dixon steps up. He'll run it, get to the outside, and he was running back for a lot of his high school days. And so he's got good smarts to jump out of bounds and stop the clock because, well, at 10:20, why not? We thought we'd have a chance to talk about more in depth than your car problems last week. We didn't even get a chance to get to that because of the great comeback.
Yeah, right.
And everybody's happy about that. Pressure from the backside and wrapped up and thrown down. Graham, what a night he's had defensively.
Number 5 on the carry.
But a story like that never really dies.
And Alma Bryant takes a timeout. With 30 seconds
Wow. Okay.
left here. Had to stop the clock because he was brought down in the middle of the field. It would have just kept running, obviously. But you got to take a shot at some. Well, maybe you're just trying to. Better luck to bounce. Maybe they still feel better luck to get one to bounce to the outside than try to go for the long completion. 3rd down coming up here.
I think the heads will be high on the Alma Bryant sideline and hopping on that bus tonight. So
or jumping on the bus if
here you go. But Daphne came out.
Kenny King, by the way, does not want anybody jumping around right at this moment. He is not all up for this celebration. But go ahead, no,
it's just they came out kind of slow offensively, had to kick a couple of field goals early on. Once they hit their groove, there was no doubt. And Alma Bryant really did not show much of a proficiency on offense at all. So as you're going into the half, you're thinking, there's no way.
Yeah.
But there was a way, and turnovers, that was the key way. But for the fact that Alma Bryant cashed in on those turnovers, very impressive.
3rd and 3 here for the Hurricanes. Dixon pressure, gets away from one, but not the second. The ball comes loose. Got to be scooped up, and a scoop and score for the Daphne Trojans.
Or are they saying the ball was down?
Oh, they're going to say he's down.
Valley is on the sack. 25 Johnson on the recovery.
Oh, I thought.
There is a flag on the play.
I thought Kendrick Johnson was going to get the scoop and score. Let's see here. And we do have a penalty as well. He's still on his feet there, still going. That's a fumble.
It is a fumble.
That should have been a scoop and score for Kendrick Johnson. Personal foul on the Trojans.
I guess that was the throwing of the quarterback down, and that
Personal foul
negated the fumble.
against the Trojan defense.
I mean, he was resisting with everything he had.
I mean, it was. Ballius was in there, and he was just making a football play here to sack the quarterback. I mean, there's nothing. He's just trying to get him down.
I guess they're protecting the quarterback at all levels.
I mean, and you totally understand that, but I mean, sometimes I don't know what a defensive player is supposed to do.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, you play defense, Dan.
In basketball.
Just a funny story about a coach telling Dan about that. That was just one of the great stories we'll put in not really a book, more just like some notes we'll jot down someday.
Talking about my conversation with the referee.
Yeah. Oh.
That's football, is what I said, as I was penalized.
19 seconds here, and now Hurricanes will spread the field and go 4 wide.
This is not what they normally do.
Trojan Nation, let's make sure they hear us out there for this defense.
I mean, it's a 2-score game with 24 seconds left, but because of how the big comeback, they got it to 6, makes it feel like
you got to go for it. You got to try to get it, and if they're going to give you this much effort to get back in the game,
right. Blitz coming. Dixon wrapped up. And I think Coach Sessions.
Number 5, sacked by number 8, Rayner.
This should do it. Colton Rayner on the sack there. Dixon just heaves this one up. Far side, fair catch, and this one intercepted. Al Woodard. And Woodard going up the sidelines. Woodard still on his feet, and he's taken down to end this one at the 12, unless there's a flag. But no, there's not a flag. There's not a flag. Daphne hangs on to win 49-35. A wild one here in the fourth quarter. Daphne hangs on to get the victory. They open up 7A region play. 49-35. Final. We're back to send it down to the field after this. So it looks like a kind of a big blowout here at the end, but boy, what a game. Was crazy comeback by Alma Bryant. 41-7 at one point. Daphne was on top. Then it was 41-35, and then Daphne able to get a late touchdown to seal the victory here tonight to move to 2-1 on the year. Bryant 1-1, Daphne 1-0 in the region. Bryant 0-1 in the region, but a wild game here in the second half. All right, our Dr. Pepper player of the game, Jamar Malone. We talked about the new quarterback coming in here for Daphne. Big night here in his first start for the Trojans. 14 of 20, 159 yards and a couple of touchdowns, and he also rushed for 103 yards tonight and a touchdown. So in his starting debut for the Trojans, a Big night for the quarterback who transferred from Arizona down to IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida, and then up here to Daphne. Came in a little bit last week in the loss to Carver Montgomery, and then gets the start here tonight. And what an impressive quarterback he is, and he is going to radically alter the look of this Daphne team from here on out. What a night for him in his debut here for the Trojans. All right, Dan's got Kenny King. Dan.
Coach Kenny King, it was a win. It was a win I don't think any of us will ever forget. But in the end, it was a little harder than we thought, right?
Yes. I mean, I give it to them, like I say, as we came out, I felt that we came out a little lax, and they made some plays, especially on special teams, and got the ball back. And again, we had to come back in and lock in. But I thought at the end, once we got in the fourth quarter and they had an opportunity to come back, I felt like our guys tightened down and made it happen to finish the game.
Talk about some of the players you're most proud of tonight. I think your quarterback, running back duo is going to be really good all year long.
Man, definitely quarterback, running back, but I give my hats off to the offensive line. They got challenged the last 2 weeks, and we was definitely wanted them to step up to the plate, and they did that tonight. So I was proud of those guys. Of course, Nick Clark and then Jamar Malone did a heck of a job. And then I give it up to the defense. Again, they played a great first half, but we decided to get some guys out there to get some playing time and hurt us a little bit. So again, we just got to make sure we get back to the drawing board, and we got away with a win. So again, that's why I'm proud of these guys that finish, but we got to do better.
A lot of fight in Alma Bryant, huh?
Yeah, definitely a lot of fight. And like I said, I give my hats off to them. They had a heck of a job, a heck of a game plan, and they had their guys ready in the second half.
Mike is with Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, and he's here to give you something really nice.
Yeah, so congratulations, Coach. Big win, Friday Night Rivals game of the week. So on behalf of Coke and Dr. Pepper, we'd like to present that to you.
Yes, sir.
And thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Back to you guys.
All right. Thanks, Dan Brennan. Thanks to all of our great sponsors here on Friday Night Rivals. What a night here tonight. 49-35, a win for the Daphne Trojans to hang on, get the victory, undefeated here in region play, and the Hurricanes of Alma Bryant, what a comeback they made, falling just a bit short. But our final score, 49-35 here tonight. Victory for the Daphne Trojans. For Dan Brennan down on the field, our great Friday Night Rivals crew, I'm Jim Cox saying good night from the Jubilee City, where the Trojans get the victory here tonight, 49-35.